This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Strong, short, staccato. I like it. Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, May 20th. I'm Tori here with my good friends Erica and Brandon. You all looking good? Feeling good?
As are you. Yes,
Thank
I'm
you.
feeling great.
Nice.
Thank you.
I tried the sultry thing today and it didn't work, so we're going to start there.
Sultry it up.
I'll try it. All right, so did you all see the 11-year-old? It was all over my feed yesterday. I'm sure y'all have seen it. Her name is Alyssa, and she fought off a would-be kidnapper while waiting for the school bus in Florida. All of this was caught on surveillance video. Take a look. A man with a knife gets out of his car. He runs to snatch the girl. She runs away, but he catches her. She then fights back, even trips the man, who gives up and drives away. Now, the suspect was later found and identified. He's right here, thanks in part to a blue mark of slime that the 11-year-old girl, Alyssa, actually left on him. It's a trick her mom says she learned from watching none other than Law and Order SVU. Is that not the best show in the whole world?
Greatest.
Here's what the girl told the Today Show all about it.
I was able to get the slime onto his
upper arm and I think a little bit on his jaw. The man got out of his vehicle holding a knife, came towards me, and I tried to run, but he caught me. But I knew that might be better evidence, or if the cops do find him.
Unbelievable quick thinking. The girl just happened to be mixing some blue paint with some homemade slime. When all of a sudden it went down, would you have thought to do that? Teenagers are way different than we were back then.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember.
She's not even a teenager.
I know. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so much more advanced because of the things that they have seen. So would you do that, Erica?
I think it's really hard to say what you would do in the moment because we don't know what type of person we are. We fight or we flight.
Or we freeze. We can do,
right.
Yeah.
I do think when I had to call 911 in an instance where it was dire, I never thought I would do this, but I automatically went to my name, my location, my name, my location. And then after I said it twice, then I was like, there's an intruder. Like the things that I was saying, I remember thinking like, why am I speaking this
Like
way?
automatically it came out.
Right. But the thing was, like a week later on, you know how you have the community reports or whatever, and the police wrote a report about it, and they said because she was able to articulate exactly what was happening and how it was happening, we were able to apprehend a suspect that had been all over the neighborhood because they caught him right away.
Your details.
So you just really don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation.
Wow.
That's-
Brandon?
I mean, at 11 years old.
That's amazing, Eric.
At 11 years old, we didn't watch Law and Order to learn how to deal with an abductor. I was too busy trying to learn stop, drop, and roll. And that was just if you were on fire, you know. It's crazy how advanced these kids are to these days where they can go through that process like you did, Erica Cobb. But, you know, I have nieces and nephews. Every time I go home to Virginia to go hang out, I always thought it was weird that my brother and my sister-in-law was watching CSI and like Criminal Minds with my nieces and nephews. But I texted my sister-in-law this morning and told her about the Law and Order thing, how the girl knew that from Law and Order, and she was like, "Hey, that's why we watch that because you never know." It's just parents are now thinking you never know these days.
I mean, school shootings and all of that, it's getting really, really real. I completely agree with you. I will say, I think we all remember what Oprah had. Remember that gentleman on? Never let them take you to the second location. That was, he stood up and said it in the camera, and every mother showed their child that day. Never let them take you to the second location. All right. Well, a lot of people are talking about cancel culture and some of the unintended consequences, like comedians who are no longer able to make certain jokes. Here's one example. This very popular Boston radio host who's been on the air for 40 years quit yesterday. He even did it on air after management told him to stop making jokes about Demi Lovato's announcement that they identify as non-binary. Even Chris Rock is talking about cancel culture. Here's what he said on the Breakfast Club podcast recently. Take a listen.
What happens is everybody gets safe.
Right.
And when everybody gets safe and nobody tries anything, things get boring.
Right. Absolutely.
So I see a lot of unfunny comedians. I see unfunny TV shows. I see unfunny award shows. I see unfunny movies because everybody's scared to make a move. You know, and that's not a place to be. You know, we should have the right to fail.
You were nodding. I 1,000% agree in terms of unfunny this, unfunny that, because we're all playing it safe. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Chris Rock, but I think that the situation with the radio DJ, those two cannot be conflated.
They're not comparable.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, because you have a 71-year-old man who is introing Demi Lovato, Jonas Brothers. Radio is a very interesting space because you can have someone there who is very much out of demo speaking to a different demo that's younger. That's totally fine if you're an Elvis Duran and you're willing to evolve, but you're missing the mark because you're not communicating effectively with your audience. There has to be evolution there. For Chris Rock, I think he's absolutely correct. People are really scared to try new things, and I think that there has to be space for grace based on the idea that you are trying to evolve, you're trying to move the mark.
Space for grace is a great way of saying, like, you can fail, you can try, as long as your intentions are good. I love that. Brandon, you were nodding along. What were you thinking?
I would rather safe than stupid. when we're talking about because when we're talking about comedy, there has to be some sort of truth in it that makes it funny. But now we're in 2021, where if you make some sort of lazy joke about a culture and the stereotypes that are involved with that culture, that it's not funny anymore. And that shouldn't make you jump on a podcast and be like, oh, I can't be myself. Be more creative. Be more funny with your art. And I think that's where most people are trying to push in 2021. I'm not trying to cancel anyone by trying to be artistic and, maybe missing the mark a bit. But when someone coming up with blackface and, black people,
right,
watermelon this, and Bojangles, no, it's not funny.
And that's like blatantly racist. But I just think comedy is so on the line of every era of like almost too far. They cross that boundary, right? Richard Pryor, George Carlin, they go there where you're like not supposed to go. And that's what makes us evolve in some ways. Does that make sense?
But if we watch old Richard Pryor, there are things, even old Eddie Murphy, where you're like,
you cringe,
But some comedian, I can't remember who said, but who were we doing the jokes for? Because those were the same jokes that made a lot of these people superstars. And in that, going back to the idea of knowing your audience, but also knowing what is funny in the moment. Like a lot of the things that we're looking at, maybe it wasn't funny then, but who was going to say it? Because that's where society was. Yeah,
they're usually provocateurs, and they change the world, in my opinion. All right, very quickly, Prince William got his first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and for the first time, a lot of us here are seeing Prince William's full arm.
Okay.
Posted on Instagram. Many are commenting that he's got a rather ripped bicep.
That's ripped.
Others think it's just good lighting. What do you think? Now, we have someone in the studio who is also quite the bicep. This is our producer, Michael Dean. And Michael thinks it's just good lighting. Michael is not sure. Let's take a look at his bicep.
Mike Dean.
This is Michael Dean, and we're going to take a look in good lighting. He thinks it's all ruse.
Now, let's get some good lighting.
That's a bicep. That's a bicep.
Yes.
That's the Pfizer versus the J&J right there. That's what that is right there. Michael Dean's gonna clip that, put it on his IG. I love
Michael Dean doesn't need doors. He just walks through walls. He's that strong. It's unbelievable. And by the way, if you're wondering why Prince got it so late, Prince William, he's 38, so he has to wait for the age time limit. I'm glad he didn't jump ahead in line. Anyway, coming up on DBL, Kathy Hilton is opening up to DBL about Paris and her disturbing experience in boarding school so many years ago. Plus, a New Jersey housewife goes under the knife before the big reunion special. Are some reality TV stars going too far to look good? We're talking about it.
Closed captioning provided by
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earle says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
For all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and it affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our coworkers. We love you. They're tuning in from home during the pandemic. We miss you. And a big shout out to Angelica, whose birthday is today.
Yes. Hey, girl.
We love you, Jill. We miss you so much. Her friends call her Jill.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'm a friend.
Wow, I didn't know.
Real Housewives of New Jersey star Dolores Catania revealed she got a ton of plastic surgery ahead of last night's reunion special. So Dolores told Page Six this. You guys ready? She spent 9 hours under the knife to prepare for the reunion and said she does the most out of anyone from all the Housewife franchises to look her best for the specials. Take a look.
So I got body tight and lipo on my legs. While he took some fat out, he rounded my a little bit more. And, you know, I went on a super crash diet, you know, it's a thing. 2 million people are going to watch this, maybe more if we're lucky. And you got to look good. You got to look your best.
It is a thing. Okay, she's not alone. In her preview of the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards admitted she got another nose job. And of course, Shannon Bedore, you all remember this from The Real Housewives of Orange County, said her very puffy appearance on the reunion show earlier this year was due to some natural fillers in her face and cheeks. Now, I have a Bravo-holic on with me, and I'm going to look over here and turn. I also love a good Real Housewife, but she is a Bravo-holic, am I right?
I am.
Okay.
I am. And I'm not going to rehab.
No. You said no. Tell me, do you think they're overdoing it?
I think that you have one life to live. And this is the path that they have chosen, and they're going all in. Like, people have so many criticisms about anything that you do, but ultimately, this is how they're choosing to live their life. That was really
interesting.
And they're trying to be the very best at it.
Right.
So there you go. She looks great.
Zero problem with it then.
I have no problem with what people do to their own bodies.
Brandon? Do you find it attractive? I mean, what do you? No, what's your?
Because I can't sit up here and mansplain. At the end of the day, yes, it's your body, it's your life. I had the problem with her saying, "Oh, I got my arms done, this done, tummy tuck, butt flattened, blah blah blah." Oh, but then I went on a crash diet. That is what is conflicting to me, and that is what just come out and say, you know, you went under the knife. You went to Dr. 90210 or whatever that guy's name is, and keep it there.
You want it a little bit more discreet.
Not so much discreet. Just be open about it. Don't say the crash diet. Hey, you got work done, that's on you, but you know, like, don't try and make it like you did it all on your own, that sort of thing.
I didn't pick that up.
I didn't either.
You didn't pick that up?
No.
Because I couldn't comment on any of her appearance. Like, I'm not going to sit up there and mansplain or talk as a man like that. You know?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Ooh, get me out of this tour.
Yeah, I will. Okay, don't worry. We're going. Kathy Hilton is up next. Let's wrap. Let's wrap.
Wrap it up.
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities. which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
Welcome back to DBL. Another Hilton family member is coming to reality TV. The family's matriarch, Kathy Hilton, is joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we got her to serve us up some exclusive tea. Check it out.
The Hilton family isn't one to shy away from the spotlight. Let's be honest, Paris was a reality star before there was such a thing.
This one's cute, I'll get this one too. My mom's credit card on file here.
But last year, during her documentary, a never-before-seen side of the Hilton heiress, after she shared stories of abuse that she suffered at her boarding school.
Something happened in my childhood that I've never talked about with anyone, but I couldn't tell you guys because every time I tried, I would get punished by them. I still have nightmares about it.
But when did the rest of the Hilton family find out about these shocking revelations? The family's matriarch, Kathy, told us the moment her life changed.
When were you first made aware of this abuse?
Right when we were filming that documentary.
Wow.
Which my heart almost stopped. And it just shocked me that she wouldn't have said something to me. I don't think I've been the same since that. I've never watched, I've seen the trailers. I've never been able to watch that. I got into such a depression.
Kathy also reveals her family wasn't the only one impacted by the abuse.
And it's interesting, after it came out, several friends of mine, their children went to that school. And this was something we didn't talk about. So when people started opening up to me, their children never said anything either. And that was shocking, because I'm the kind of mother you can tell me anything.
Being an open book works well in reality TV.
Kathy Hilton's here!
That's why Kathy is taking the plunge and joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But what is her famous family think?
When Paris found out that I was doing the show, the housewife, she was disgusted.
No.
Did not. Both my daughters were like, because they said, oh, I was being shady. I was. I then kind of avoided them because I knew they would not be pleased. Now they're fine with it.
What did your sisters Kyle and Kim have to say about you being on the show?
Well, Kyle, as I told you, she really wanted me to do it, which really made me feel very good, because Kyle and I have had our share of problems.
On Housewives, the newbie never knows where to stand with the cast. So what were Kathy's first impressions of the ladies from Beverly Hills?
They all serve up drama. They are drama queens. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I love them. But these girls get very passionate about what they like, what they don't like. And they go on and on and on and on and on. And they can switch like that.
When it comes to reality TV, all viewers want to know is, how real is it? According to Kathy, what you see is what you get.
I have never seen anybody be asked or whispered to say anything or to do anything. So it is, they let the cameras roll. We could go on yakking for 2 and 3 hours till 1 in the morning. And those camera people, you forget they're there. They end up blending into the walls.
Right.
Wow.
And that's where you get really good TV.
So overall, how did this rookie's first season go?
The whole experience for me was was great. Now I just got to wait and see, as they say, how I'm edited.
Oh.
Kathy, shut up.
Ooh, the newest season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is airing right now on Bravo. In fact, it aired last night, so you late. Get on it. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
We all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for some sweet, sweet deals. Earlier, Steph showed me some amazing products at some really good prices. Here's this week's DBL Deal Blast, presented by MorningSave.com. What do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Tori, I'm here with some great products and deals just for you guys. So first up, I've got something that will give you healthier skin no matter your age or skin type. It's the LaFleur Probiotic Skincare 3-Step Kit. So the probiotic cleanser will soften and brighten all skin types by washing away pollutants on the skin and resetting it overnight.
Wow.
Normally, this is as much as $248. I
can see that.
Yeah, but we've got it for only $49, saving up to 80%. Next up, I've got the perfect item to help you relax in the comfort of your own home. It's the Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser, and 10-piece essential oil set. So this deal includes 1 diffuser and the 10 different oils you see here. The included oils are lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, orange, peppermint, lemongrass, jasmine, my favorite, nutmeg, clove, and spearmint. So normally it's as much as $150.
I was gonna say.
Oils are very expensive.
Yeah.
We've got it for only $39. That's saving up to 74%.
Love it. Yes.
Now, Tori, I've got something that would do great things within your home, or for anyone else's for that matter. It is the 8-pack Square and Ground solar pathway lights with bright LEDs. Isn't that cool?
I love the look.
So normally these are as much as $60, and now we've got them for only $29, saving up to 52%. And lastly, keeping our hair looking flawless can be very expensive.
Yes.
Well, not anymore. Not with the Main Choice Heavenly Halo 5-piece hair care bundle. Very important.
Yes.
Normally, this is as much as $83.
Okay.
But right now, the whole set is only $34, saving up to 58%.
Lock into those lock savings. I know that doesn't make sense, but I liked it. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone, guys, anywhere you are. Thank you so much, Steph. Okay, so first off, great deals, but second off, we want to give you an update. Matty Siegel, the DJ in Boston, actually didn't quit. He stormed off angrily and then walked back this morning and was back on air.
So Karen. Stunted.
He was a Karen.
So he's stunted. Okay.
Although I have walked off before.
Have you?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of trouble when I was on the radio.
When Erica gets in trouble, she just slowly rocks back and forth.
But it's one of those things I feel like everyone wants to be fake woke until that mortgage payment is due. It's one of those things. He got home, his wife was like, "What are you doing? We got a mortgage, we got a Verizon bill to pay," and he stormed his butt right back into the radio.
Yeah, he did. He also, you said it's like a top 40, so that's not the place to sort of be poking fun at someone like that.
Well, I mean, know your audience, man.
Come on, people. Come on, we know you. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
An 11-year-old fights off a kidnapper, and it was all caught on camera. The TV show she's crediting for her quick thinking to help catch the suspect. Putting your best face forward, the wild plastic surgery procedures one Real Housewife had ahead of the reunion. Plus, live today, Tamara Taylor from Law & Order Organized Crime, and 90s Week continues with Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2,
Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, May 20th. I'm Sam, here with Jeff and Erica. Tori joins us from home. Hello, hello, Tori.
Hi. Wow, a little bit more enthusiasm.
I know. Maybe we got to get her some coffee or something.
I was trying to look sultry.
You do look sultry today. You look very sultry today. I like the eyeliner, the eyeshadow, the red lip. You went all out. It's beautiful. Thanks. Okay, so something that I wanted to show you guys that I saw all over my Facebook feed this morning, which absolutely, as a parent, gave me chills. I'm sure you saw this too, Jeff. Maybe you didn't, but let me show you. So first and foremost, an 11-year-old girl named Alyssa fought off a would-be kidnapper while waiting for the school bus in Florida. Can you imagine? Well, it was all caught on surveillance footage. Check it out. There it is. A man with a knife gets out of his car, runs to snatch the girl. She runs away, but he catches her. She fights back. And even trips the man, who gives up, drives away. Now, the suspect was later found, thank God, and identified, thanks in part to a blue mark of slime that the girl left on him, a trick her mom says she learned from watching Law & Order SVU. Here's what the girl told the Today Show about it.
I was able to get the slime onto his upper arm and I think a little bit on his jaw. The man got out of his vehicle holding a knife, came towards me, and I tried to run, but he caught me. But I knew that that might be better evidence for if the cops do find him.
Wow. The girl just happened to be mixing blue paint with some liquid at home. It made slime when it all went down. Would you have thought to do this? And Jeff, when you watched that, I heard you say you were shocked. I'm sure
that was the first time I saw that.
And you imagine Lawson and Layton.
And my heart kind of like races. I don't know if it's just a parent. I'm kind of scared of what I would do if I witnessed this myself.
I would kill someone. No, I would. I would, and I know that's not the right and popular thing to say. I would kill someone.
I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself because I might do just that. But yeah, that's the feeling that I had right away. I mean, to see that, I don't even know where to go with this video. I would not have the foresight to do that at 11-year-old. I was outside trying to learn how to hit a curveball. I wasn't watching SVU. So, I mean, that's the difference, I think, between this generation and my generation. We were more outside, and I think this generation is more inside, watching tablets or things with their parents.
I think it also comes down to what your experiences are, you know, as a child. I think that depending on where you are and what part of the world you're in, you're just going to be apt to do different things. I think at the end of the day, no one really knows what they're going to do in a heightened situation until you're actually there. And I think a lot of people would be surprised by what their response is when things are going down.
Wow, I really hope so, Erica. That is just, watching that video, to Jeff's point, just absolutely made my heart stop. So, Tori, there's a question that continues to come up, and I know that you're going to have an opinion on it. Do you think cancel culture makes things boring or unfunny, especially with your comedic background? Or are there some jokes that actually should be off limits? Here's one example. This very popular Boston radio host, who's been on the air for 40 years, quit yesterday morning. He even did it on air after management told him to stop making jokes about Demi Lovato's announcement that they identify as non-binary. He's back on the air today, so I guess it could have been a stunt. Even Chris Rock, though, is talking about comedy and cancel culture. Here's what he said about it on The Breakfast Club.
What happens is everybody gets safe.
Right.
And when everybody gets safe and nobody tries anything, things get boring.
Right. Absolutely.
So I see a lot of unfunny comedians. I see unfunny TV shows. I see unfunny award shows. I see unfunny movies. Because everybody's scared to make a move. And that's not a place to be. We should have the right to fail.
So, Tori, you're the perfect person to talk about this because you do have a background in comedy, but you're also very progressive, you're very empathetic. So where do we go from here?
So I see two things, and I'm going to ask the audience at home to hold two things in their head at the same time. One, I think Chris Rock is so right on. Comics are on the edge of the line. They play that, they swim back and forth, and they have to provoke in order to move the culture forward, right? But at the same time, I'm really sick of this cancel culture being I'm over cancel culture. At some point, it's also called accountability culture. And when you make a joke or you do something that's stupid and lazy and racist, you're going to get called out for it. And so I think you can do both. You can try and allow comics to be funny and clever and push the envelope, but you certainly don't have to just forget all manners and what we've learned in this climate.
I'll go, no problem. Yeah, I mean, we only have a minute left. I could talk about this forever. I agree 100% with what Chris Rock said. And when you say it's going too far, Tori, and you said you're against that, I'm going to push back against that because it's going too far in the sense that who are you canceling? There are true racists out there. There are true homophobics out there. There are true transphobic people out there. When you're coming for people that are on TV that slip one time or do this and you held them accountable for the rest of their life, that's where there's a problem, and that's where I'll push back on that.
Erica, I want to hear from you really quickly.
No,
oh, yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I think it's fair to have this conversation because a lot of people are too scared to be innovative. But I don't like to have this conversation with this radio host because I think ultimately you have a 71-year-old who's doing top 40 radio, is completely ignorant of the demographic in which he is serving, and was told not to do it preemptively. If he wanted to walk, he should have kept walking.
Tori?
And I hear what Jeff's saying. You're like, there's no space for grace. There's none of that. And it's just normal people trying to push the envelope. But here's the thing. If you have a platform, I think you have a bigger responsibility to be careful about who you're speaking about. If it's clever and funny, I'm all for it. If it's not, and you have a platform, yeah, I'm going to be more likely to cancel you than Joe Schmo down the road because you hold that platform.
So if you say something wrong, but we're live on television right now, Tori, in the years to come, you say something wrong, you shouldn't have an opportunity to be able to feed your family. If you have kids, feed your kids. You're going to have to go get a job at somewhere else. You can't be in the business anymore?
No, I hear that. I think we need to have a place to rebound and come back, but I do think there should be consequences. Yes, I do.
See, we could talk about this all day long, and I have a feeling that we're going to continue to talk about cancel culture in the upcoming months and weeks and years. Coming up on DBL, a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars continues with Karen Parsons, you guys, from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She's on the show live. Also joining us live, there she is, you guys, actress Tamara Taylor from the spinoff everyone's talking about, Law and Order, Organized Crime. And next, Dr. Payal Kohli is tackling pandemic headlines, including a new coronavirus that's spreading to humans from dogs. You heard that right. That's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earle says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
For all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and It affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
Welcome back to DBL. By now, over 125 million Americans are fully vaccinated, but we're not completely out of the woods just yet. So our medical expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, there she is, joins us live. Hey, doctor. So first, we want to ask you about vaccine booster shots. So Dr. Fauci says we'll likely need them in under a year. Can you tell us more about that?
So Sam, there's really two purposes to a booster shot. The first, of course, is what it sounds like, which is to boost our antibody response if it's starting to wane off. And then the second is to help offer some protection against the variant. So on one hand, you know, being a person who got fully vaccinated in January, I'm interested to know what the science says about how long these antibodies last. We know that they last for at least 6 months, but we don't know what the back end of that is. So I'm really waiting for the science, and I'm glad that they're planning for the booster. But on the other hand, I have a little bit of skepticism because I don't want to make predictions about whether we need booster shots or not. I want to know what the science says, and I know there's, you know, obviously corporate interest in wanting everybody to get a booster shot. So I'm really looking forward to the data that tells us when those antibodies start to go away, and that'll help to guide when we need those booster shots.
Doc, always good to see you and hear you. Do you need to get the same booster shot from your original vaccine, whether it be Johnson & Johnson, whatever it may be?
You know, this is kind of interesting, Jeff. We don't really know the answer, but I think our best bet is probably not. And there's a lot of studies that are actually undergoing right now in the UK that are looking whether mixing and matching actually boosts your antibody response even more. So you essentially get benefits of two different vaccines. For example, a DNA-based vaccine and a messenger RNA vaccine. Could that even be better? So my best guess is no, you're not going to be stuck with whatever you got. Which one did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
The Pfizer.
That's like the best.
Like the Facebook.
The Pfizer.
Twitter.
Well, really quick, Dr. Kohli, now we know that some animals are carrying or transmitting the disease, but recently we heard about a newly found coronavirus that might be coming from dogs. So before anyone panics, can you clarify that?
Yeah, so you know, Erica, coronaviruses come from animals. That's been the case for a long time. So I don't want anyone to panic. This was only 8 patients in the hospital in Malaysia who were found to have in their nose a strain of coronavirus that could have originated from dogs. Now, we don't know that that strain made them sick. We also don't know that it's spreading human to human, but this is something that coronavirus in particular does. So it's not something alarming. It's just as this infection continues to spread, we may have to look out for our pets as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli. As always, coming up on DBL, we'll be right back with actress Tamara Taylor. There she is with quite the book collection behind her. From the new Law and Order spinoff, Organized Crime. Don't go away.
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities, which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
Welcome back to DBL. Today, our special guest is one of the newest faces to join the Law and Order series. And before she comes on, we have a little sneak peek at tonight's brand new episode of Organized Crime. So spoiler warning for anyone not caught up yet. Check it out. What? Oh, the drama. That's Tamara Taylor, also known for other beloved roles on Bones and Party of Five. I think a lot of us are picking up our jaws from the table after that scene. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, before we jump into Law and Order,
crazy.
I know. So hopefully you can fill us in. But before we jump into Law and Order, let's rewind the clock. You worked with Tyler Perry on his very first movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and I heard you went all out during the audition. Just how far did you go to get that role?
Oh, man. Well, literally just the week before, it was kind of perfect timing, like a little motivation. My agent was talking to me because I think I had just read for, I think it was the role of a lawyer. You know, it's like doctor, lawyer, cop has kind of been my career. And my agent said, oh, you'll never play a hooker or a crackhead. And so, of course, you know, cut to Tyler's script landing in my lap, and I was like, well, let's see. Let me see if I can prove you wrong. So I didn't bathe for a week and change, and walked in and scared the hell out of Tyler.
Wow.
Definitely was, yo, there she is. There she is. The funk is real. The funk is real.
That's commitment.
Tamara, I love behind the scenes stuff, how you walked us through what you did for that character. What was your honest reaction when you got Law and Order?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I was kind of stunned and so excited. It was really fast. Everything happened extremely fast. So I did a Zoom sort of, I want to say audition / sort of meeting with the executive producers and the showrunner and the casting director. And I'd never done anything like that before. So, you know, and I'm a little bit tech challenged. So that mostly, thankfully, I was distracted by the fact that I actually had to figure out what a backdrop was supposed to look like and how I didn't know any of it. So yeah, we had a great meeting, and I heard, I think that afternoon, that I got the role, and then they were like, and you're leaving for New York in 5 days.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, roll with it.
So it was fun.
Love it.
Law and Order.
Man, right?
Yes. Well, Tamara, sis, I mean, I'm so excited to ask you this question because I want to get your take on this, because you've been very outspoken about supporting Black Lives Matter. And last summer, a lot of shows involving police characters came under heat because people felt like they were glamorizing the job. So I'm curious how you feel about that reaction now that you're on Law and Order.
Well, it's interesting. I'm so glad you asked this question. We actually just had a couple of, there have been many interesting dialogues about this very thing on set because, of course, Ayanna Bell is played by Danielle Monet-Truitt, and, you know, she has definitely had to speak up about, you know, I want to say lend perspective to some of the dialogue, as have I, and I think, for the most part, this show, and it's a really tricky thing to do because it's a show about cops. But I think Dick Wolf and Eileen Chaikin have really walked a tightrope, because there's no glamorizing cops right now, but we also don't want to demonize them, because, as we know, not all cops are bad. Not all black people are guilty. So they're really, I think, they're taking it on, and I think they're trying to give it a fair, I think they're trying to give it a fair perspective, I guess. They're trying to see it from both sides. So I think it may offend some people who are Blue Lives Matter folks. I think they may lose some fans, and I think they may gain some others.
Yeah, I think it gives perspective that maybe others have not considered. And at the end of the day, if you're educating people, that's something that you can go to bed at night feeling pretty proud of. We also love the onset.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we also love your onset photos you've been sharing on social media. We even spotted a couple selfies with Christopher Maloney. Is he anything like Detective Stabler? There you are.
There we are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we are. I don't even know New York, so I have no clue where we are. People were trying to guess. I think we're in Queens. He's amazing. He's actually, I would say, a lot like Stabler in that he's in his body. No, I don't want to say tightly wound, but definitely ready to be there. He's ready for whatever's coming at him, definitely. But what I will say is he's a lot funnier and a lot kinder, I think, than Stabler.
All right.
So,
wow.
Really fun to work with.
Well, we're proud of you. Congratulations on the new role. You do it so well. Thank you, Tamara, for stopping by DBL. Don't miss the show, everybody. Law and Order, Organized Crime. A new episode airs tonight.
Oh, they know.
On NBC. We'll be right back. Thanks, Tamara.
Thanks, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
We all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
Tomorrow on DBL, we're wrapping up a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars with Urkel himself, Family Matters star Jaleel White. And one musician's courageous fight against racism, convincing KKK members to renounce their hatred.
It's hard to hate somebody when you're right there face to face.
That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
That was quite the interview. Okay, so we have some comments, but I didn't know. Am I reading them? Who's reading the comments?
We could promote Daryl Davis because
is it
that's
me?
coming up.
Oh, people
I was asking.
Yeah.
People love Tamara. Okay, Arash, I got them right here. Yvonne says, I love the new Law and Order organized crime. I never miss it. Dean says, Law and Order is the only show I watch. So happy to see Tamara on DBL. And Raylene says, Tamara was so sweet and down to earth. Another reason to watch her new show. It's always nice to see, you know, a lot of Hollywood actors can get a bad rap, but to see like how down to earth most of them are, it's refreshing.
I was just talking, we and Erica were talking to the break, how cool is it that they take her input of her own personal life and put it into the story? That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's needed. I mean, you need diversity and representation matters, people. It just does.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you are sticking around, here is what's coming up. Actress Karen Parsons joining us live. There she is. What? She's going to talk all about life after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Plus, a New Jersey housewife goes under the knife before the big reunion special. Are some reality TV stars going too far? And a big thank you to our coworkers who are working so hard. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori, sultry Tori, there she is. joins us from, she's digging it. Oh wow. You sold that moment. Okay, so Real Housewives of New Jersey star Dolores Catania revealed she got a ton of plastic surgery ahead of last night's special reunion. So Dolores told Page 6 that she spent 9 hours under the knife to prepare for the reunion and said she does the most out of anyone from all the Housewives franchises to look her best for the specials. Watch.
So I got body tight and lipo on my legs. Wally took some fat out. He rounded my a little bit more. And, you know, I went on a super crash diet, you know, it's a thing. 2 million people are going to watch this. Maybe more if we're lucky. And you got to look good. You got to look your best.
Did she say she got a new...
Butt?
No, she got a new...
Oh, that's what she was describing?
Yes. Yeah.
I should have paid attention a little more.
So, okay, let's get back to all the plastic surgery. She's not alone.
Why?
In a preview of the new season of The Real Housewives,
I'm still stuck.
We'll get to it. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards admitted she got another nose job, and Shannon Bedore from The Real Housewives of Orange County said her puffy appearance on the reunion show earlier this year was due to natural fillers in her face and cheeks. Okay, so let's get back to the... Because we're not allowed to say certain things on this show for some reason.
Her flower.
It's biology.
Her flower.
Delicate flower.
Why would she get her? She said 2 million people are watching. They're not watching her flower. Why would she get that done?
After maybe kids.
But she said for the reunion.
Right, because they were already...
That's like slipping in like our COVID bill and redoing our bridges. You know what I mean? That's what's going on.
Well, no.
It's the same like government bill. Look, I brought politics into this.
If you're already under, she's saying if I'm already under, if I'm going to nip tuck this, and this, I'll nip tuck that.
Right. So, and that's what Kyle Richards said on the Real Housewives of Beverly. You're welcome, sir. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night, because she was saying that on set something hit her squarely in the nose, and they had to go and do some things anyway. So she decided, since they were already going to operate, she might as well get something done. So it's like, well, I'm already doing this, so I might as well do the whole kit and caboodle. Okay. I don't have a problem with this, but I'm so sorry she was under the knife for 9 hours, because I do not see the difference. Dolores cannot possibly get any more beautiful. That woman is gorgeous. And I don't see, I couldn't tell the difference.
Tori, okay, so here's my fear though. And listen, it's her body. She looks gorgeous. Good for her. Do you. However, some psychologists have spoken up that there can be a culture of friends that produce almost like this keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And if you get inserted to that, so if there's this culture on set, or there's this culture within the whole Housewives franchise, it's almost like you start to believe that you need to also get your lips done, or to also get your yes, that too. So do you, I don't know, Tori, I feel like it's becoming like this epidemic within them.
And that's a fair point, right? I think once you see a wrinkle and no one around you in your community has a wrinkle, it looks like a much bigger wrinkle. But I also think these people are probably prone to plastic surgery. I don't think this is new for them. I think she may have gotten a new flower, even if she wasn't on a reunion. So I think that's sort of the group of people we're talking about here. But I really appreciate the word flower. Great job on that, guys.
I think we hit our max.
I think we. I will say I love that she owns it. You know, if you're gonna say this is what this is what you look this way because you did X, Y, and Z, I think that sets an expectation.
Exactly, as opposed to saying it was the T on Instagram.
Thank you. Okay. New single, Jana Kramer. Jana has a new look. Jana Kramer, who recently filed for divorce from her husband, Mike Cosson, so revealed in her quote, divorce body on Instagram, she said she got breast implants 2 weeks before the news of the split broke. According to some psychologists, after a breakup, people feel a need to transform themselves to feel more attractive, like A-Rod, by the way, who posted this photo before and after, shortly after splitting from J-Lo. So, or to assert their identities. You guys all remember Katy Perry, right? Cutting her hair after her breaking up with Orlando Bloom back in 2017. Okay. Yeah? What do you guys think about this science? Have you ever wanted to go to the gym after you broke up with somebody?
I think everybody does. I get the re-imaging stuff, but let's not forget spite. right? Spite's a big motivating factor. You broke up with me, guess what? I'm gonna go to the gym and show you what you're missing out on. That's what we're talking about. We put all these quotes around these different things. It's spite. Let's embrace it.
You don't buy it?
Well, I don't think everyone thinks like that because once I'm done with...
everybody does.
No, once we're over, we are just over. Like, there are no, like, repeats. There's no return. I'm not thinking about it. I'm moving on with my life. I actually cut off all my hair right before my wedding to Anthony. And I think that it was a part of, like, I really needed to figure out, like, who I was stepping into this new part of my life. So my hair actually symbolizes how far in my comeback journey. So, yeah, here we are.
See, I think there's actually, Tori, a caveat in between Jeff's analogy and what Erica said. I think if you're the one that broke up with a person and you've been able to move on, you're not going to feel like you need to have some sort of revenge body. There's not going to be spite there. If you're the one that's been broken up with, oh yeah, you want to get back at that person and you're going to show them everything that they're missing. That's my opinion. I would.
I think you are spot on, Samantha. And also, I want to say this.
First of all, I said it
cut off
first.
all my hair to look like Gwyneth Paltrow, to look terrible. I look terrible. So if you're hungry or angry or sad, don't make rash decisions about your hair.
Wait a minute.
I did,
Hold
and
on.
it took a while.
Hold the phone. You cut your hair to look like Gwyneth Paltrow?
In what? What
Mercy. In sliding doors.
No,
Remember when she gets that cut? That's
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Stop right here because we have a major unveiling. She is always so hard on Gwyneth Paltrow. And it turns out that the reason why is because you tried to emulate her hairstyle and it looked terrible on you.
Dr.
That's not the reason. You take that. That's your L. You take that loss, Tor.
We have a retired Gwyneth Paltrow stan, right? She obviously stanned her. Stan means you're obsessed with someone. She stanned her. Why you cut her your hair like her?
I just liked her hair.
And you didn't like it, and Erica psychologically broke you down.
Coming up on DBL, and it's a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars, and we're talking live. There she is. Oh yeah, we're talking live with Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by We've All Got Something.
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earle says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
For all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and it affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
your cousin Will is here.
Hi. Dad, I need $300.
That's a lot of money, Hillary. What for?
I need a new hat.
For what?
Probably her head.
Her comedic timing was always on point. Welcome back to DBL. That was actress Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the hit 90s sitcom defined 90s style. And who can forget our favorite fashionista, Hillary Banks? Yes, there she is joining us live. Karen, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you.
I mean, just watching that again, that show just continues to make me laugh. It lives on. It's almost impossible to not sing along to the Fresh Prince theme song as well when the show starts. So what's it like for you watching the show now? And are your kids fans?
I don't watch the show. My kids, you know, they both went through a little Fresh Prince intro around probably when they were each around 9. I mean, there was when my daughter was a toddler, I remember passing it on the television and she was walking by and I just kept it there for a while because I was in the scene and I wanted to see what happened. And she stopped and she looked back at me and she did the whole like, that's you. And then she quickly went on to whatever she was doing because she was, you know, she could care less. But I think it's probably a little weird for them. I think it's probably strange for them. They went, like I said, went through a little phase where they watched it and they really liked it. They got over the fact that I was on it really fast, which was great. And now I think they could care. I think they kind of like, it's weird and yeah, they could care less.
Yeah, my kids don't even watch this show, so I'm with you there.
Right.
They're not impressed at all.
Yeah, my kids haven't seen all the episodes.
Karen,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, you were breaking up a little there. For Fresh Prince fans, you and Will Smith actually go way back. You were friends before he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What was Will like back then?
Actually, that's not me. I'm thinking about Alfonso. Alfonso and Will knew each other before.
That's what it says here.
They got that wrong. Sorry, somebody. But Alfonso and knew each other.
All right, well, that was a terrible question. We'll move on to the next one.
What do you think about Will currently trying to lose his pandemic bod?
Wow, was that a trip? I laughed so hard. I couldn't believe that he would go for that and do it. It was great. I think it was awesome because everybody
relates.
Everybody, right? To this. What did he say? He was hidden in the pantry, you know, late at night. They think the pantry cookies, late night pantry cookies, I think we all know what that's like during the pandemic. So I think that's really cool. I think it's great. And we know how he is. We know he's going to do it and he's going to look like amazing in 5 seconds, you know?
Of course. Well, Karen, the last time I spoke with you, I got the chance to tell you that you were one of my first inspirations for natural hair and having that representation. So I'm wondering, because Hillary was the first Black American princess, really, on television. So what other Black women have to say about how you played the role, and how much were you like able to keep shaping that character?
Well, definitely all had a lot of input, which was fantastic. The producers from the beginning would want to talk to us about how did that feel after we would read through something or after we would stage it. But they were the ones that came up with the character, and then I participated in that, you know, to some degree, obviously, but they came up with these great lines, and I loved her being in this kind of, you know, in her this bubble lived in. I never wanted her to, I didn't want to do a thing where she was all of a sudden, you know, she came out of it and she was a strong Black woman. Because I thought it was so much we could say showing her the way that she was. I thought it was far more interesting. So I'm glad we did it that way. But it was interesting how it was received and how it's received now. You know, I think that people respond to the character, but I think a lot of people were also at the same time a little more put off at the time when it came out. Like, who does she think she is, kind of thing. Where now, I think people are much quicker to just like laugh it off, recognize themselves in her. it's just the times, and things change a little bit, and it's fun. It's interesting to see the different generations and the reactions to it. And of course, the bottom line is that people are enjoying it, generation after generation, and that's just pretty incredible.
It is. My nieces and nephews are just now getting into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm like, hey, that was my favorite show like 30 years ago. But so since playing Hillary, quickly you began writing, and your stories are special because they help kids learn about race. What are you up to now, and how can we find out more about your incredibly inclusive children's books?
Oh, well, thank you. I started an organization called Sweet Blackberry back in 2005. And the mission of Sweet Blackberry is to bring little-known stories of African-American achievement to children. And I do this through short animated films and through books, picture books, because there's just a handful of stories that kids are being taught in the schools, and there's so many incredible stories out there that have been left out of the textbooks and that are, risk being forgotten altogether. And I think there's so much that all children can learn from them. And of course, these are inspiring people, but they're also very empowering stories. And I think it's important, and it's for kids coming up at a young age to be introduced to these people. And as they come into the world, I think it just changes their whole outlook on the landscape of race and their value if they come up knowing about all of these incredible accomplishments and contributions of these people that, school they might not hear about.
Right. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. DBL Nation, for more information about Karen's children's books, visit sweetblackberry.org. We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Great. Thank you. Thanks.
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities, which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, Steph showed Tori some amazing products at even better prices. Here's DBL Deal Blast, presented by MorningSave.com. What do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey, Tori, I'm here with some great products and deals just for you guys. So first up, I've got something that will give you healthier skin no matter your age or skin type. It's the LaFleur Probiotic Skincare 3-Step Kit. So the probiotic cleanser will soften and brighten all skin types by washing away pollutants on the skin and resetting it overnight. The probiotic serum concentrate will smooth out fine lines and wrinkles and boosts the skin's natural defense system. And lastly, the probiotic Daily Defense Moisturizer primes skin for a flawless makeup application while protecting the skin from the effects of environmental exposure.
Wow.
Normally, this is as much as $248.
I can see that.
Yeah, but we've got it for only $49, saving up to 80%.
Get your face glow on, everybody,
Honestly.
with a good price.
Next up, I've got the perfect item to help you relax in the comfort of your own home. It's the Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser and 10-piece essential oil set. So this deal includes one diffuser and the 10 different oils you see here. They're state-of-the-art wave diffusion technology to atomize essential oils for ultimate wellness with this.
Nice.
And it also features 7 ambient light modes, 4 timer settings, and an auto shut-off feature for low water levels. The included oils are lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, orange, peppermint, lemongrass, jasmine, my favorite, nutmeg, clove, and spearmint. So normally it's as much as $150.
I was gonna say.
Oils are very expensive.
Yeah.
We've got it for only $39. That's saving up to 74%.
And you guys are all spending so much more time at home. Have a place next to your Zoom where this can be glowing and moving you to a much more calm state. This can really save your day.
Exactly.
Really, really.
I love this, and it's a great price with all the oils included.
For 10 of those?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very, very good price.
Love it. Yes.
Now, Tori, I've got something that would do great things within your home, or for anyone else's for that matter. It is the 8-pack Square and Ground Solar Pathway lights with bright LEDs. So you can use these to brighten up your garden or add light to an existing pathway to your front door. And the bright LEDs are sustainable and solar powered, providing up to 8 hours of illumination. They're wireless, easy to install, and the best part is they are sturdy for all year round weather. Look. So you can see, like, obviously when it gets dark.
I'm obsessed with these.
Isn't that cool?
I love the look.
So normally these are as much as $60, and now we've got them for only $29, saving up to 52%.
That is way better. I use these in my gardens, and it just looks so nice in the summer when you're grilling and you see the walkway. I'm just telling you guys, this will it's an upgrade for your backyard, and you don't have to spend a ton.
And it's so simple, and you don't need anyone to come in and install anything.
And it's solar. I mean, it couldn't be easier. This is
really great.
Very smart.
Definitely. And lastly, keeping our hair looking flawless can be very expensive.
Yes.
Well, not anymore. Not with the Main Choice Heavenly Halo 5-piece hair care bundle. So you can wash and condition your way to healthy, beautiful locks with this kit. So it's a 5-piece set, comes with everything your hair needs, like masks and softening milk.
Oh, wow.
And all 5 containers are packed with vitamins, botanicals, and essential nutrients for healthier hair and manageability. Very important.
Yes.
Normally, this is as much as $83.
Okay.
But right now, the whole set is only $34, saving up to 58%.
Oh, I love a good deal and a good headset. I just think it's so pricey to get your hair to look good these days, and I'm not going to the salon as much because of COVID. This is excellent. Lock into those lock savings. I know that doesn't make sense, but I liked it. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone, guys, anywhere you are. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
We all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
DBL, Tori, you got a comment about your sultry look?
No one wrote in. No one. Secondly, Tina wrote in, when my husband of 30 years left me for his 22-year-old secretary, I got my revenge body. And last I heard, the girl left him and he got fat.
Good. Ooh. Good. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
An 11-year-old fights off a kidnapper, and it was all caught on camera. The TV show she's crediting for her quick thinking to help catch the suspect. Putting your best face forward, the wild plastic surgery procedures one Real Housewife had ahead of the reunion. Plus, live today, Tamara Taylor from Law & Order Organized Crime, and 90s Week continues with Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, May 20th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori joins us from home. Hello, hello, Tori.
Hi. Wow, a little bit more enthusiasm.
I know. Maybe we got to get her some coffee or something.
To look sultry.
You do look sultry today. You look very sultry today. I like the eyeliner, the eyeshadow, the red lip. You went all out. It's beautiful. Thanks. Okay, so something that I wanted to show you guys that I saw all over my Facebook feed this morning, which absolutely, as a parent, gave me chills. I'm sure you saw this too, Jeff. Maybe you didn't, but let me show you. So first and foremost, an 11-year-old girl named Alyssa fought off a would-be kidnapper while waiting for the school bus in Florida. Can you imagine? Well, it was all caught on surveillance footage. Check it out. There it is. A man with a knife gets out of his car, runs to snatch the girl. She runs away, but he catches her. She fights back. He even trips the man, who gives up, drives away. Now, the suspect was later found, thank God, and identified, thanks in part to a blue mark of slime that the girl left on him, a trick her mom says she learned from watching Law & Order SVU. Here's what the girl told the Today Show about it.
I was able to get the slime onto his upper arm and I think a little bit on his jaw. The man got out of his vehicle holding a knife, came towards me, and I tried to run, but he caught me. But I knew that might be better evidence for if the cops do find him.
Wow. The girl just happened to be mixing blue paint with some liquid at home. It made slime when it all went down. Would you have thought to do this? And Jeff, when you watched that, I heard you say you were shocked. I'm sure
that was the first time I saw that.
And you imagine Lawson and Layton.
And my heart kind of like races. I don't know if it's just a parent. I'm kind of scared of what I would do if I witnessed this myself.
I would kill someone. No, I would. I would, and I know that's not the right and popular thing to say. I would kill someone.
I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself because I might do just that. But yeah, that's the feeling that I had right away. I mean, to see that, I don't even know where to go with this video. I would not have the foresight to do that at 11-year-old. I was outside trying to learn how to hit a curveball. I wasn't watching SVU. So, I mean, that's the difference, I think, between this generation and my generation. We were more outside, and I think this generation is more inside, watching tablets or things with their parents.
I think it also comes down to what your experiences are, you know, as a child. I think that depending on where you are and what part of the world you're in, you're just going to be apt to do different things. I think at the end of the day, no one really knows what they're going to do in a heightened situation until you're actually there. And I think a lot of people would be surprised by what their response is when things are going down.
Wow, I really hope so, Erica. That is just, watching that video, to Jeff's point, just absolutely made my heart stop. So, Tori, there's a question that continues to come up, and I know that you're going to have an opinion on it. Do you think cancel culture makes things boring or unfunny, especially with your comedic background? Or are there some jokes that actually should be off limits? Here's one example. This very popular Boston radio host, who's been on the air for 40 years, quit yesterday morning. He even did it on air after management told him to stop making jokes about Demi Lovato's announcement that they identify as non-binary. He's back on the air today, so I guess it could have been a stunt. Even Chris Rock, though, is talking about comedy and cancel culture. Here's what he said about it on The Breakfast Club.
What happens is everybody gets safe.
Right.
And when everybody gets safe and nobody tries anything, things get boring.
Right. Absolutely.
So I see a lot of unfunny comedians. I see unfunny TV shows. I see unfunny award shows. I see unfunny movies. Because everybody's scared to make a move. And that's not a place to be. We should have the right to fail.
So, Tori, you're the perfect person to talk about this because you do have a background in comedy, but you're also very progressive, you're very empathetic. So where do we go from here?
So I see two things, and I'm going to ask the audience at home to hold two things in their head at the same time. One, I think Chris Rock is so right on. Comics are on the edge of the line. They play that, they swim back and forth, and they have to provoke in order to move the culture forward, right? But at the same time, I'm really sick of this cancel culture being, I'm over cancel culture. At some point, it's also called accountability culture. And when you make a joke or you do something that's stupid and lazy and racist, you're going to get called out for it. And so I think you can do both. You can try and allow comics to be funny and clever and push the envelope, but you certainly don't have to just forget all manners and what we've learned in this climate.
I'll go, no problem. Yeah, I mean, we only have a minute left. I could talk about this forever. I agree 100% with what Chris Rock said. And when you say it's going too far, Tori, and you said you're against that, I'm going to push back against that because it's going too far in the sense that who are you canceling? There are true racists out there. There are true homophobics out there. There are true transphobic people out there. When you're coming for people that are on TV that slip one time or do this and you held them accountable for the rest of their life, that's where there's a problem, and that's where I'll push back on that.
Erica, I want to hear from you really quickly.
Don't you think? No, oh yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I think it's fair to have this conversation because a lot of people are too scared to be innovative. But I don't like to have this conversation with this radio host because I think ultimately you have a 71-year-old who's doing top 40 radio, is completely ignorant of the demographic in which he is serving, and was told not to do it preemptively. If he wanted to walk, he should have kept walking.
Tori?
And I hear what Jeff's saying. You're like, there's no space for grace. There's none of that. And it's just normal people trying to push the envelope. But here's the thing. If you have a platform, I think you have a bigger responsibility to be careful about who you're speaking about. If it's clever and funny, I'm all for it. If it's not, and you have a platform, yeah, I'm going to be more likely to cancel you than Joe Schmo down the road because you hold that platform.
So if you say something wrong, but we're live on television right now, Tori, in the years to come, you say something wrong, you shouldn't have an opportunity to be able to feed your family. If you have kids, feed your kids. You're going to have to go get a job at somewhere else. You can't be in the business anymore?
No, I hear that. I think we need to have a place to rebound and come back, but I do think there should be consequences. Yes, I do.
See, we could talk about this all day long, and I have a feeling that we're going to continue to talk about cancel culture in the upcoming months and weeks and years. Coming up on DBL, a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars continues with Karen Parsons, you guys, from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She's on the show live. Also joining us live, there she is, you guys, actress Tamara Taylor from the spinoff everyone's talking about, Law and Order, Organized Crime. And next, Dr. Payal Kohli is tackling pandemic headlines, including a new coronavirus that's spreading to humans from dogs. You heard that right. That's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earle says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
for all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and it affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
Welcome back to DBL. By now, over 125 million Americans are fully vaccinated, but we're not completely out of the woods just yet. So our medical expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, there she is, joins us live. Hey, doctor. So first, we want to ask you about vaccine booster shots. So Dr. Fauci says we'll likely need them in under a year. Can you tell us more about that?
So, Sam, there's really two purposes to a booster shot. The first, of course, is what it sounds like, which is to boost our antibody response if it's starting to wane off. And then the second is to help offer some protection against the variant. So on one hand, you know, being a person who got fully vaccinated in January, I'm interested to know what the science says about how long these antibodies last. We know that they last for at least 6 months, but we don't know what the back end of that is. So I'm really waiting for the science, and I'm glad that they're planning for the booster. But on the other hand, I have a little bit of skepticism because I don't want to make predictions about whether we need booster shots or not. I want to know what the science says, and I know there's, you know, obviously corporate interest in wanting everybody to get a booster shot. So I'm really looking forward to the data that tells us when those antibodies start to go away, and that'll help to guide when we need those booster shots.
Doc, always good to see you and hear you. Do you need to get the same booster shot from your original vaccine, whether it be Johnson & Johnson, whatever it may be?
You know, this is kind of interesting, Jeff. We don't really know the answer, but I think our best bet is probably not. And there's a lot of studies that are actually undergoing right now in the UK that are looking whether mixing and matching actually boosts your antibody response even more. So you essentially get benefits of two different vaccines. For example, a DNA-based vaccine and a messenger RNA vaccine. Could that even be better? So my best guess is no, you're not going to be stuck with whatever you got. Which one did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
The Pfizer.
That's like the best.
Like the Facebook.
The Pfizer.
Twitter. Well, really quick, Dr. Kohli. Now, we know that some animals are carrying or transmitting the disease, but recently we heard about a newly found coronavirus that might be coming from dogs. So before anyone panics, can you clarify that?
Yeah, so you know, Erica, coronaviruses come from animals. That's been the case for a long time. So I don't want anyone to panic. This was only 8 patients in the hospital in Malaysia who were found to have in their nose a strain of coronavirus that could have originated from dogs. Now, we don't know that that strain made them sick. We also don't know that it's spreading human to human, but this is something that coronavirus in particular does. So it's not something alarming. It's just as this infection continues to spread, we may have to look out for our pets as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli. As always, coming up on DBL, we'll be right back with actress Tamara Taylor. There she is with quite the book collection behind her. From the new Law and Order spinoff, Organized Crime. Don't go away.
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities. which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
Welcome back to DBL. Today, our special guest is one of the newest faces to join the Law and Order series. And before she comes on, we have a little sneak peek at tonight's brand new episode of Organized Crime. So spoiler warning for anyone not caught up yet. Check it out. What? Oh, the drama. That's Tamara Taylor, also known for other beloved roles on Bones and Party of Five. I think a lot of us are picking up our jaws from the table after that scene. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, before we jump into Law and Order,
crazy.
I know. So hopefully you can fill us in. But before we jump into Law and Order, let's rewind the clock. You worked with Tyler Perry on his very first movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and I heard you went all out during the audition. Just how far did you go to get that role?
Oh, man. Well, literally just the week before, it was kind of perfect timing, like a little motivation. My agent was talking to me because I think I had just read for I think it was the role of a lawyer. You know, it's like doctor, lawyer, cop has kind of been my career. And my agent said, oh, you'll never play a hooker or a crackhead. And so, of course, you know, cut to Tyler's script landing in my lap, and I was like, well, let's see. Let me see if I can prove you wrong. So I didn't bathe for a week and change, and walked in and scared the hell out of Tyler.
Wow.
Definitely was, yo, there she is. There she is. The funk is real. The funk is real.
That's commitment.
Tamara, I love behind the scenes stuff, how you walked us through what you did for that character. What was your honest reaction when you got Law and Order?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I was kind of stunned and so excited. It was really fast. Everything happened extremely fast. So I did a Zoom sort of, I want to say audition / sort of meeting with the executive producers and the showrunner and the casting director. And I'd never done anything like that before. So, you know, and I'm a little bit tech challenged. So that mostly, thankfully, I was distracted by the fact that I actually had to figure out what a backdrop was supposed to look like and how I didn't know any of it. So yeah, we had a great meeting, and I heard, I think that afternoon, that I got the role, and then they were like, and you're leaving for New York in 5 days.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, well,
Yeah, roll with it.
So it was fun.
Love it.
Law and Order.
Man, right?
Yes. Well, Tamara, sis, I mean, I'm so excited to ask you this question because I want to get your take on this, because you've been very outspoken about supporting Black Lives Matter. And last summer, a lot of shows involving police characters came under heat because people felt like they were glamorizing the job. So I'm curious how you feel about that reaction now that you're on Law and Order.
Well, it's interesting. I'm so glad you asked this question. We actually just had a couple of, there have been many interesting dialogues about this very thing on set because, of course, Ayanna Bell is played by Danielle Monet-Truitt, and, you know, she has definitely had to speak up about, you know, I want to say lend perspective to some of the dialogue, as have I, and I think, for the most part, this show, and it's a really tricky thing to do because it's a show about cops, but I think Dick Wolf and Eileen Chaikin have really walked a tightrope because there's no glamorizing cops right now, but we also don't want to demonize them because, as we know, not all cops are bad. Not all Black people are guilty. You know, so they're really, I think, they're taking it on, and I think they're trying to give it a fair, I think they're trying to give it a fair perspective, I guess. They're trying to see it from both sides. So I think it may offend some people who are Blue Lives Matter folks. I think they may lose some fans, and I think they may gain some others.
Yeah, I think it gives perspective that maybe others have not considered. And at the end of the day, if you're educating people, that's something that you can go to bed at night feeling pretty proud of. We also love the on-set.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we also love your on-set photos you've been sharing on social media. We even spotted a couple selfies with Christopher Maloney. Is he anything like Detective Stabler? There you are.
There we are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we are. I don't even know New York, so I have no clue where we are. People were trying to guess. I think we're in Queens. He's amazing. He's actually, I would say, a lot like Stabler in that he's in his body. No, I don't want to say tightly wound, but definitely ready to be there. He's ready for whatever's coming at him, you know, definitely. But what I will say is he's a lot funnier and a lot kinder, I think, than Stabler.
All right.
So,
wow.
Really fun to work with.
Well, we're proud of you. Congratulations on the new role. You do it so well. Thank you, Tamara, for stopping by DBL. Don't miss the show, everybody. Law and Order, Organized Crime. A new episode airs tonight.
Oh, they know.
On NBC. We'll be right back. Thanks, Tamara.
Thanks, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
that we all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
Tomorrow on DBL, we're wrapping up a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars with Urkel himself, Family Matters star Jaleel White. And one musician's courageous fight against racism, convincing KKK members to renounce their hatred.
It's hard to hate somebody when you're right there face to face.
That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
That was quite the interview. Okay, so we have some comments, but I didn't know. Am I reading them? Who's reading the comments?
We could promote Daryl Davis because
is it
that's
me?
coming up.
Oh, people
I was
love.
asking.
Yeah.
People love Tamara. Okay, Arash, I got them right here. Yvonne says, I love the new Law and Order organized crime. I never miss it. Dean says, Law and Order is the only show I watch. So happy to see Tamara on DBL. And Raylene says, Tamara was so sweet and down to earth. Another reason to watch her new show. It's always nice to see, you know, a lot of Hollywood actors can get a bad rap, but to see like how down to earth most of them are, it's refreshing.
I was just talking, we and Erica were talking to the break, how cool is it that they take her input of her own personal life and put it into the story? That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's needed. I mean, you need diversity and representation matters, people. It just does.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you are sticking around, here is what's coming up. Actress Karen Parsons joining us live. There she is. What? She's going to talk all about life after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Plus, a New Jersey housewife goes under the knife before the big reunion special. Are some reality TV stars going too far? And a big thank you to our coworkers who are working so hard. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori, sultry Tori, there she is. Joins us from, she's digging it. Oh wow.
Oh, my
You sold that moment. Okay, so Real Housewives of New Jersey star Dolores Catania revealed she got a ton of plastic surgery ahead of last night's special reunion. So Dolores told Page 6 that she spent 9 hours under the knife to prepare for the reunion and said she does the most out of anyone from all the Housewives franchises to look her best for the specials. Watch.
So I got body tight and lipo on my legs. While he took some fat out, he rounded my a little bit more. And, you know, I went on a super crash diet, you know, it's a thing. 2 million people are going to watch this. Maybe more if we're lucky. And you got to look good. You got to look your best.
Did she say she got a new?
What?
No, she got a new.
Oh, that's what she was describing?
Yes. Yeah.
I should have paid attention a little more.
So, okay, let's get back to all the plastic surgery. She's not alone.
Why?
In a preview of the new season of The Real Housewives,
I'm still stuck.
We'll get to it. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards admitted she got another nose job, and Shannon Bedore from The Real Housewives of Orange County said her puffy appearance on the reunion show earlier this year was due to natural fillers in her face and cheeks. Okay, so let's get back to the. Because we're not allowed to say certain things on this show for some reason.
Her flower.
It's biology.
Her flower.
Delicate flower.
Why would she get her? She said 2 million people are watching. They're not watching her flower. Why would she get that done?
After maybe kids.
But she said for the reunion.
Right,
what
because
that
they
have to
were
do?
already.
That's like slipping in like our COVID bill and redoing our bridges. You know what I mean? That's what's going on.
Well, no.
It's the same like government bill. Look, I brought politics into this.
If you're already under, she's saying if I'm already under, if I'm going to nip tuck this, and this, I'll nip tuck that.
Right. So, and that's what Kyle Richards said on
Way to get us out
Real
of here.
Housewives of Beverly. You're welcome, sir. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night, because she was saying that on set something hit her squarely in the nose, and they had to go and do some things anyway. So she decided, since they were already going to operate, she might as well get something done. So it's like, well, I'm already doing this, so I might as well do the whole kit and caboodle. Okay. I don't have a problem with this, but I'm so sorry she was under the knife for 9 hours, because I do not see the difference. Dolores cannot possibly get any more beautiful. That woman is gorgeous. And I don't see, I couldn't tell the difference.
Tori, okay, so here's my fear though. And listen, it's her body. She looks gorgeous. Good for her. Do you? However, some psychologists have spoken up that there can be a culture of friends that produce almost like this keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And if you get inserted to that, so if there's this culture on set, or there's this culture within the whole Housewives franchise, it's almost like you start to believe that you need to also get your lips done, or to also get your yes, that too. So I don't know, Tori. I feel like it's becoming like this epidemic within them.
And that's a fair point, right? I think once you see a wrinkle and no one around you in your community has a wrinkle, it looks like a much bigger wrinkle. But I also think these people are probably prone to plastic surgery. I don't think this is new for them. I think she may have gotten a new flower, even if she wasn't on a reunion. So I think that's sort of the group of people we're talking about here. But I really appreciate the word flower. Great job on that, guys.
I think we hit our max.
I think we. I will say I love that she owns it. If you're gonna say this is what this is what you look this way because you did X, Y, and Z, I think that sets an expectation.
Exactly, as opposed to saying it was the T on Instagram.
Thank you. Okay. New single Jana has a new look. Jana Kramer, who recently filed for divorce from her husband, Mike Cosson, so revealed in her quote, divorce body on Instagram, she said she got breast implants 2 weeks before the news of the split broke. According to some psychologists, after a breakup, people feel a need to transform themselves to feel more attractive, like A-Rod, by the way, who posted this photo before and after, shortly after splitting from J-Lo. So, or to assert their identities. You guys all remember Katy Perry, right? Cutting her hair after her breaking up with Orlando Bloom back in 2017. Okay. Yeah. What do you guys think about this science? Have you ever wanted to go to the gym after you broke up with somebody?
I think everybody does. I get the re-imaging stuff, but let's not forget spite. Right? Spite's a big motivating factor. You broke up with me, guess what? I'm going to go to the gym and show you what you're missing out on. That's what we're talking about. We put all these quotes around these different things. It's spite. Let's embrace it.
You don't buy it?
Well, I don't think everyone thinks like that, because once I'm done
everybody does.
No, once we're over, we are just over. Like, there are no, like, repeats. There's no return. I'm not thinking about it. I'm moving on with my life. I actually cut off all my hair right before my wedding to Anthony. And I think that it was a part of, like, I really needed to figure out, like, who I was stepping into this new part of my life. So my hair actually symbolizes how far in my comeback journey. So, yeah, here we are.
See, I think there's actually, Tori, a caveat in between Jeff's analogy and what Erica said. I think if you're the one that broke up with a person and you've been able to move on, you're not going to feel like you need to have some sort of revenge body. There's not going to be spite there. If you're the one that's been broken up with, oh yeah, you want to get back at that person and you're going to show them everything that they're missing. That's my opinion. I would.
I think you are spot on, Samantha. And also, I want to say this.
First of all, I said it
cut off
first.
all my hair to look like Gwyneth Paltrow, to look terrible. I look terrible. So if you're hungry or angry or sad, don't make rash decisions about your hair.
Wait a minute.
I did,
Hold
and
on.
it took a while.
Hold the phone. You cut your hair to look like Gwyneth Paltrow?
In what? What movie?
In Sliding Doors. Remember when she gets that cut? That's
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Stop right here, because we have a major unveiling. She is always so hard on Gwyneth Paltrow, and it turns out that the reason why is because you tried to emulate her hairstyle, and it looked terrible on you.
Dr.
That's not the reason, Gwynny. You take that. That's your hell. You take that loss, Tor.
We have a retired Gwyneth Paltrow stan, right? She obviously stanned her. Stan means you're obsessed with someone. She stanned her. Why you cut her your hair like her?
I just liked her hair.
And you didn't like it, and Erica psychologically broke you down.
Coming up on DBL, and it's a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars, and we're talking live. There she is. Oh yeah, we're talking live with Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
We've all got something.
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earle says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is, although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
for all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and it affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
Hillary, your cousin Will is here.
Hi. Dad, I need $300.
That's a lot of money, Hillary. What for?
I need a new hat.
For what?
Probably her head.
Her comedic timing was always on point. Welcome back to DBL. That was actress Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the hit 90s sitcom defined 90s style. And who can forget our favorite fashionista, Hillary Banks? Yes, there she is joining us live. Karen, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you.
I mean, just watching that again, that show just continues to make me laugh. It lives on. It's almost impossible to not sing along to the Fresh Prince theme song as well when the show starts. So what's it like for you watching the show now? And are your kids fans?
I don't watch the show. My kids, they both went through a little Fresh Prince intro around probably when they were each around 9. I mean, when my daughter was a toddler, I remember seeing it on the television, and she was walking by, and I just kept it there for a while because I was in the scene and I wanted to see what happened. And she stopped and she looked back at me and she did the whole like, "That's you." And then she quickly went on to whatever she was doing because she was, she could care less. But I think it's probably a little weird for them. I think it's probably strange for them. They went through a little phase where they watched it and they really liked it. They got over the fact that I was on it really fast, which was great. And now I think they could care. I think they kind of like, it's weird, and yeah, they could care less.
Yeah, my kids don't even watch this show, so I'm with you there.
Right.
They're not impressed at all.
Yeah, my kids haven't seen all the episodes.
Karen,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, you were breaking up a little there. For Fresh Prince fans, you and Will Smith actually go way back. You were friends before he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What was Will like back then?
Actually, that's not me. I'm thinking about Alfonso. Alfonso and Will knew each other before.
That's what it says here.
They got that wrong. Sorry, somebody. But Alfonso and knew each other.
All right, well, that was a terrible question. We'll move on to the next one.
What do you think about Will currently trying to lose his pandemic bod?
Wow, was that a trip? I laughed so hard. I couldn't believe that he would go for that and do it. It was great. I think it was awesome because everybody
relates.
Everybody, right? To this. What did he say? He was hidden in the pantry, late at night. They think the pantry cookies, late night pantry cookies, I think we all know what that's like during the pandemic. So I think that's really cool. I think it's great. And we know how he is. We know he's going to do it, and he's going to look like amazing in 5 seconds,
Of course. Well, Karen, the last time I spoke with you, I got the chance to tell you that you were one of my first inspirations for natural hair and having that representation. So I'm wondering, because Hillary was the first Black American princess, really, on television. So what other Black women have to say about how you played the role, and how much were you able to keep shaping that character?
Well, definitely all had a lot of input, which was fantastic. The producers from the beginning would want to talk to us about how did that feel after we would read through something or after we would stage it. But they were the ones that came up with the character, and then I participated in that, to some degree, obviously, but they came up with these great lines. And I loved her being in this kind of, in her this bubble lived in. I never wanted her I didn't want to do a thing where she was all of a sudden, she came out of it and she was a strong Black woman. Because I thought it was so much we could say about her the way that she was. I thought it was far more interesting. So I'm glad we did it that way. But it was interesting how it was received and how it's received now. I think that people respond to the character, but I think a lot of people were also at the same time a little more put off at the time when it came out. Like, who does she think she is, kind of thing. Where now, I think people are much quicker to just like laugh it off, recognize themselves in her. It's just the times, and things change a little bit, and it's fun. It's interesting to see the different generations and the reactions to it. And of course, the bottom line is that people are enjoying it, generation after generation, and that's just pretty incredible.
It is. My nieces and nephews are just now getting into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm like, hey, that was my favorite show like 30 years ago. But so since playing Hillary, quickly you began writing, and your stories are special because they help kids learn about race. What are you up to now, and how can we find out more about your incredibly inclusive children's books?
Oh, well, thank you. I started an organization called Sweet Blackberry back in 2005. And the mission of Sweet Blackberry is to bring little-known stories of African-American achievement to children. And I do this through short animated films and through books, picture books, because there's just a handful of stories that kids are being taught in the schools, and there's so many incredible stories out there that have been left out of the textbooks and that are risk being forgotten altogether. And I think there's so much that all children can learn from them. And of course, these are inspiring people, but they're also very empowering stories. And I think it's important, and it's for kids coming up at a young age to be introduced to these people. And as they come into the world, I think it just changes their whole outlook on the landscape of race and their value if they come up knowing about all of these incredible accomplishments and contributions of these people that, school they might not hear about.
Right. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. DBL Nation, for more information about Karen's children's books, visit sweetblackberry.org. We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Great. Thank you. Thanks.
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities, which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
That's 1-800-78.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, Steph showed Tori some amazing products at even better prices. Here's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
What do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Tori, I'm here with some great products and deals just for you guys. So first up, I've got something that will give you healthier skin no matter your age or skin type. It's the LaFleur Probiotic Skincare 3-Step Kit. So the probiotic cleanser will soften and brighten all skin types by washing away pollutants on the skin and resetting it overnight. The probiotic serum concentrate will smooth out fine lines and wrinkles and boost the skin's natural defense system. And lastly, the probiotic daily defense moisturizer primes skin for a flawless makeup application while protecting the skin from the effects of environmental exposure.
Wow.
Normally, this is as much as $248.
I can see that.
Yeah, but we've got it for only $49, saving up to 80%.
Get your face glow on, everybody, with a good price.
Next up, I've got the perfect item to help you relax in the comfort of your own home. It's the Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser and 10-piece essential oil set. So this deal includes one diffuser and the 10 different oils you see here. They're state-of-the-art wave diffusion technology to atomize essential oils for ultimate wellness with this.
Nice.
And it also features 7 ambient light modes, 4 timer settings, and an auto shut-off feature for low water levels. The included oils are lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, orange, peppermint, lemongrass, jasmine, my favorite, nutmeg, clove, and spearmint. So normally it's as much as $150.
I was gonna say.
Oils are very expensive.
Yeah.
We've got it for only $39. That's saving up to 74%.
And you guys are all spending so much more time at home. Have a place next to your Zoom where this can be glowing and moving you to a much more calm state. This can really save your day.
Exactly.
Really, really.
I love this, and it's a great price with all the oils included.
For 10 of those? Yeah.
Oh yeah, very, very good price.
Love it. Yes.
Now, Tori, I've got something that would do great things within your home, or for anyone else's for that matter. It is the 8-pack Square and Ground Solar Pathway Lights with bright LEDs. So you can use these to brighten up your garden or add light to an existing pathway to your front door. And the bright LEDs are sustainable and solar powered, providing up to 8 hours of illumination. They're wireless, easy to install, and the best part is they are sturdy for all year round weather. Look. Oh. So you can see, like, obviously when it gets dark.
I'm obsessed with these.
Isn't that cool?
I love the look.
So normally these are as much as $60, and now we've got them for only $29, saving up to 52%.
That is way better. I use these in my gardens, and it just looks so nice in the summer when you're grilling and you see the walkway. I'm just telling you guys, this will it's an upgrade for your backyard, and you don't have to spend a ton.
And it's so simple. You don't need anyone to come and install anything.
And it's solar. I mean, it couldn't be easier. This is
really great.
Very smart.
Definitely. And lastly, keeping our hair looking flawless can be very expensive.
Yes.
Well, not anymore. Not with the Main Choice Heavenly Halo 5-piece hair care bundle. So you can wash and condition your way to healthy, beautiful locks with this kit. So it's a 5-piece set, comes with everything your hair needs, like masks and softening milk.
Oh, wow.
And all 5 containers are packed with vitamins, botanicals, and essential nutrients for healthier hair and manageability. Very important.
Yes.
Normally, this is as much as $83.
Okay.
But right now, the whole set is only $34, saving up to 58%.
Oh, I love a good deal and a good headset. I just think it's so pricey to get your hair to look good these days, and I'm not going to the salon as much because of COVID. This is excellent. Lock into those lock savings. I know that doesn't make sense, but I liked it. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone, guys, anywhere you are. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
We all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
About your sultry look?
No one wrote in. No one. Secondly, Tina wrote in, when my husband of 30 years left me for his 22-year-old secretary, I got my revenge body. And last I heard, the girl left him and he got fat.
Good.
Ooh.
Good. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
An 11-year-old fights off a kidnapper, and it was all caught on camera. The TV show she's crediting for her quick thinking to help catch the suspect. Putting your best face forward, the wild plastic surgery procedures one Real Housewife had ahead of the reunion. Plus, live today, Tamara Taylor from Law & Order Organized Crime, and 90s Week continues with Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, May 20th. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori joins us from home. Hello, hello, Tori.
Hi. Wow, a little bit more enthusiasm.
I know. Maybe we got to get her some coffee or something.
I was trying to look sultry.
You do look sultry today. You look very sultry today. I like the eyeliner, the eyeshadow, the red lip. You went all out. It's beautiful. Thanks. Okay, so something that I wanted to show you guys that I saw all over my Facebook feed this morning, which absolutely, as a parent, gave me chills. I'm sure you saw this too, Jeff. Maybe you didn't, but let me show you. So first and foremost, an 11-year-old girl named Alyssa fought off a would-be kidnapper while waiting for the school bus in Florida. Can you imagine? Well, it was all caught on surveillance footage. Check it out. There it is. A man with a knife gets out of his car, runs to snatch the girl. She runs away, but he catches her. She fights back. He even trips the man, who gives up, drives away. Now, the suspect was later found, thank God, and identified, thanks in part to a blue mark of slime that the girl left on him, a trick her mom says she learned from watching Law & Order SVU. Here's what the girl told the Today Show about it.
I was able to get the slime onto his upper arm and I think a little bit on his jaw. The man got out of his vehicle holding a knife, came towards me, and I tried to run, but he caught me. But I knew that that might be better evidence for if the cops do find him.
Wow. The girl just happened to be mixing blue paint with some liquid at home. It made slime when it all went down. Would you have thought to do this? And Jeff, when you watched that, I heard you say you were shocked. I'm sure
that was the first time I saw that.
And you imagine Lawson and Layton.
And my heart kind of like races. I don't know if it's just a parent. I'm kind of scared of what I would do if I witnessed this myself.
I would kill someone. No, I would. I would, and I know that's not the right and popular thing to say. I would kill someone.
I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself because I might do just that. But yeah, that's the feeling that I had right away. I mean, to see that, I don't even know where to go with this video. I would not have the foresight to do that at 11-year-old. I was outside trying to learn how to hit a curveball. I wasn't watching SVU. So, I mean, that's the difference, I think, between this generation and my generation. We were more outside, and I think this generation is more inside, watching tablets or things with their parents.
I think it also comes down to what your experiences are, you know, as a child. I think that depending on where you are and what part of the world you're in, you're just going to be apt to do different things. I think at the end of the day, no one really knows what they're going to do in a heightened situation until you're actually there. And I think a lot of people would be surprised by what their response is when things are going down.
Wow, I really hope so, Erica. That is just, watching that video, to Jeff's point, just absolutely made my heart stop. So, Tori, there's a question that continues to come up, and I know that you're going to have an opinion on it. Do you think cancel culture makes things boring or unfunny, especially with your comedic background? Or are there some jokes that actually should be off limits? Here's one example. This very popular Boston radio host, who's been on the air for 40 years, quit yesterday morning. He even did it on air after management told him to stop making jokes about Demi Lovato's announcement that they identify as non-binary. He's back on the air today, so I guess it could have been a stunt. Even Chris Rock, though, is talking about comedy and cancel culture. Here's what he said about it on The Breakfast Club.
What happens is everybody gets safe.
Right.
And when everybody gets safe and nobody tries anything, things get boring.
Right. Absolutely.
So I see a lot of unfunny comedians. I see unfunny TV shows. I see unfunny award shows. I see unfunny movies because everybody's scared to make a move. And that's not a place to be. We should have the right to fail.
So, Tori, you're the perfect person to talk about this because you do have a background in comedy, but you're also very progressive, you're very empathetic. So where do we go from here?
So I see two things, and I'm going to ask the audience at home to hold two things in their head at the same time. One, I think Chris Rock is so right on. Comics are on the edge of the line. They play that, they swim back and forth, and they have to provoke in order to move the culture forward, right? But at the same time, I'm really sick of this cancel culture being, I'm over cancel culture. At some point, it's also called accountability culture. And when you make a joke or you do something that's stupid and lazy and racist, you're gonna get called out for it. And so I think you can do both. You can try and allow comics to be funny and clever and push the envelope, but you certainly don't have to just forget all manners and what we've learned in this climate.
I'll go, no problem. Yeah, I mean, we only have a minute left. I could talk about this forever. I agree 100% with what Chris Rock said. And when you say it's going too far, Tori, and you said you're against that, I'm going to push back against that because it's going too far in the sense that who are you canceling? There are true racists out there. There are true homophobics out there. There are true transphobic people out there. When you're coming for people that are on TV that slip one time or do this and you held them accountable for the rest of their life, that's where there's a problem, and that's where I'll push back on that.
Erica, I want to hear from you really quickly.
No,
oh, yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I think it's fair to have this conversation because a lot of people are too scared to be innovative. But I don't like to have this conversation with this radio host because I think ultimately you have a 71-year-old who's doing top 40 radio, is completely ignorant of the demographic in which he is serving, and was told not to do it preemptively. If he wanted to walk, he should have kept walking.
Tori?
And I hear what Jeff's saying. You're like, there's no space for grace. There's none of that. And it's just normal people trying to push the envelope. But here's the thing. If you have a platform, I think you have a bigger responsibility to be careful about who you're speaking about. If it's clever and funny, I'm all for it. If it's not, and you have a platform, yeah, I'm going to be more likely to cancel you than Joe Schmo down the road because you hold that platform.
So if you say something wrong, but we're live on television right now, Tori, in the years to come, you say something wrong, you shouldn't have an opportunity to be able to feed your family. If you have kids, feed your kids. You're going to have to go get a job at somewhere else. You can't be in the business anymore?
No, I hear that. I think we need to have a place to rebound and come back, but I do think there should be consequences. Yes, I do.
See, we could talk about this all day long, and I have a feeling that we're going to continue to talk about cancel culture in the upcoming months and weeks and years. Coming up on DBL, a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars continues with Karen Parsons, you guys, from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She's on the show live. Also joining us live, there she is, you guys, actress Tamara Taylor from the spinoff everyone's talking about, Law and Order, Organized Crime. And next, Dr. Payal Kohli is tackling pandemic headlines, including a new coronavirus that's spreading to humans from dogs. You heard that right. That's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand, meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earl says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
For all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and it affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
Welcome back to DBL. By now, over 125 million Americans are fully vaccinated, but we're not completely out of the woods just yet. So our medical expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, there she is, joins us live. Hey, doctor. So first, we want to ask you about vaccine booster shots. So Dr. Fauci says we'll likely need them in under a year. Can you tell us more about that?
So, Sam, there's really two purposes to a booster shot. The first, of course, is what it sounds like, which is to boost our antibody response if it's starting to wane off. And then the second is to help offer some protection against the variant. So on one hand, you know, being a person who got fully vaccinated in January, I'm interested to know what the science says about how long these antibodies last. We know that they last for at least 6 months, but we don't know what the back end of that is. So I'm really waiting for the science, and I'm glad that they're planning for the booster. But on the other hand, I have a little bit of skepticism because I don't want to make predictions about whether we need booster shots or not. I want to know what the science says, and I know there's, you know, obviously corporate interest in wanting everybody to get a booster shot. So I'm really looking forward to the data that tells us when those antibodies start to go away, and that'll help to guide when we need those booster shots.
Doc, always good to see you and hear you. Do you need to get the same booster shot from your original vaccine, whether it be Johnson & Johnson, whatever it may be?
You know, this is kind of interesting, Jeff. We don't really know the answer, but I think our best bet is probably not. And there's a lot of studies that are actually undergoing right now in the UK that are looking whether mixing and matching actually boosts your antibody response even more. So you essentially get benefits of two different vaccines. For example, a DNA-based vaccine and a messenger RNA vaccine. Could that even be better? So my best guess is no, you're not going to be stuck with whatever you got. Which one did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
The Pfizer.
That's like the best.
Like the Facebook.
The Pfizer.
The Twitter. Well, really quick, Dr. Kohli. Now, we know that some animals are carrying or transmitting the disease, but recently we heard about a newly found coronavirus that might be coming from dogs. So before anyone panics, can you clarify that?
Yeah, so you know, Erica, coronaviruses come from animals. That's been the case for a long time. So I don't want anyone to panic. This was only 8 patients in the hospital in Malaysia who were found to have in their nose a strain of coronavirus that could have originated from dogs. Now, we don't know that that strain made them sick. We also don't know that it's spreading human to human, but this is something that coronavirus in particular does. So it's not something alarming. It's just as this infection continues to spread, we may have to look out for our pets as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli. As always, coming up on DBL, we'll be right back with actress Tamara Taylor. There she is with quite the book collection behind her. From the new Law and Order spinoff, Organized Crime. Don't go away.
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities, which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
Welcome back to DBL. Today, our special guest is one of the newest faces to join the Law and Order series. And before she comes on, we have a little sneak peek at tonight's brand new episode of Organized Crime. So spoiler warning for anyone not caught up yet. Check it out. What? Oh, the drama. That's Tamara Taylor, also known for other beloved roles on Bones and Party of Five. I think a lot of us are picking up our jaws from the table after that scene. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, before we jump into Law and Order,
crazy.
I know. So hopefully you can fill us in. But before we jump into Law and Order, let's rewind the clock. You worked with Tyler Perry on his very first movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and I heard you went all out during the audition. Just how far did you go to get that role?
Oh, man. Well, literally just the week before, it was kind of perfect timing, like a little motivation. My agent was talking to me because I think I had just read for, I think it was the role of a lawyer. You know, it's like Dr. Lawyer Cop has kind of been my career. And my agent said, oh, you'll never play a hooker or a crackhead. And so, of course, you know, cut to Tyler's script landing in my lap, and I was like, well, let's see. Let me see if I can prove you wrong. So I didn't bathe for a week and change, and walked in and scared the hell out of Tyler.
Wow.
Definitely was, there she is. There she is. The funk is real. The funk is real.
That's commitment.
Tamara, I love behind the scenes stuff, how you walked us through what you did for that character. What was your honest reaction when you got Law and Order?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I was kind of stunned and so excited. It was really fast. Everything happened extremely fast. So I did a Zoom sort of, I want to say audition / sort of meeting with the executive producers and the showrunner and the casting director. And I'd never done anything like that before. So, you know, and I'm a little bit tech challenged. So that mostly, thankfully, I was distracted by the fact that I actually had to figure out what a backdrop was supposed to look like and how I didn't know any of it. So yeah, we had a great meeting, and I heard, I think that afternoon, that I got the role, and then they were like, and you're leaving for New York in 5 days.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, roll with it.
So it was fun.
Love it.
Law and Order.
Man, right?
Yes. Well, Tamara,
Yeah.
sis, I mean, I'm so excited to ask you this question because I want to get your take on this, because you've been very outspoken about supporting Black Lives Matter. And last summer, a lot of shows involving police characters came under heat because people felt like they were glamorizing the job. So I'm curious how you feel about that reaction now that you're on Law and Order.
Well, it's interesting. I'm so glad you asked this question. We actually just had a couple of, there have been many interesting dialogues about this very thing on set because, of course, Ayanna Bell is played by Danielle Monet-Truitt, and, you know, she has definitely had to speak up about, you know, I want to say lend perspective to some of the dialogue, as have I, and I think for the most part this show, and it's a really tricky thing to do because it's a show about cops, but I think Dick Wolf and Eileen Chaikin have really walked a tightrope, because there's no glamorizing cops right now, but we also don't want to demonize them because, as we know, not all cops are bad. Not all Black people are guilty. You know, so they're really, I think, they're taking it on, and I think they're trying to give it a fair, I think they're trying to give it a fair perspective, I guess. They're trying to see it from both sides. So I think it may offend some people who are Blue Lives Matter folks. I think they may lose some fans, and I think they may gain some others.
Yeah, I think it gives perspective that maybe others have not considered. And at the end of the day, if you're educating people, that's something that you can go to bed at night feeling pretty proud of. We also love the onset.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we also love your onset photos you've been sharing on social media. We even spotted a couple selfies with Christopher Maloney. Is he anything like Detective Stabler? There you are.
There we are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we are. I don't even know New York, so I have no clue where we are. People were trying to guess. I think we're in Queens. He's amazing. He's actually, I would say, a lot like Stabler in that he's in his body. No, I don't want to say tightly wound, but definitely ready to be there. He's ready for whatever's coming at him, you know, definitely. But what I will say is he's a lot funnier and a lot kinder, I think, than Stabler.
All right.
So,
wow.
Really fun to work with.
Well, we're proud of you. Congratulations on the new role. You do it so well. Thank you, Tamara, for stopping by DBL. Don't miss the show, everybody. Law and Order, Organized Crime. A new episode airs tonight.
Oh, they know.
On NBC. We'll be right back. Thanks, Tamara.
Thanks, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
We all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
Tomorrow on DBL, we're wrapping up a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars with Urkel himself, Family Matters star Jaleel White. And one musician's courageous fight against racism, convincing KKK members to renounce their hatred.
It's hard to hate somebody when you're right there face to face.
That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
That was quite the interview. Okay, so we have some comments, but I didn't know. Am I reading them? Who's reading the comments?
We could promote Daryl Davis because
is it
that's
me?
coming up.
Oh, people
I was
love.
asking.
Yeah.
People love Tamara. Okay, Arash, I got them right here. Yvonne says, I love the new Law and Order organized crime. I never miss it. Dean says, Law and Order is the only show I watch. So happy to see Tamara on DBL. And Raylene says, Tamara was so sweet and down to earth. Another reason to watch her new show. It's always nice to see, you know, a lot of Hollywood actors can get a bad rap, but to see like how down to earth most of them are, it's refreshing.
I was just talking, we and Erica were talking in the break, how cool is it that they take her input of her own personal life and put it into the story? That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's needed. I mean, you need diversity and representation matters, people. It just does.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you are sticking around, here is what's coming up. Actress Karen Parsons joining us live. There she is. What? She's going to talk all about life after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Plus, a New Jersey housewife goes under the knife before the big reunion special. Are some reality TV stars going too far? And a big thank you to our coworkers who are working so hard. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori, sultry Tori, there she is. Joins us from, she's digging it. Oh wow. You sold that moment. Okay, so Real Housewives of New Jersey star Dolores Catania revealed she got a ton of plastic surgery ahead of last night's special reunion. So Dolores told Page 6 that she spent 9 hours under the knife to prepare for the reunion and said she does the most out of anyone from all the Housewives franchises to look her best for the specials. Watch.
So I got body tight and lipo on my legs. While he took some fat out, he rounded my a little bit more. And, you know, I went on a super crash diet, you know, it's a thing. 2 million people are going to watch this. Maybe more if we're lucky. And you got to look good. You got to look your best.
Did she say she got a new?
What?
No, she got a new.
Oh, that's what she was describing?
Yes. Yeah.
I should have paid attention a little more.
So, okay, let's get back to all the plastic surgery. She's not alone.
Why?
In a preview of the new season of The Real Housewives,
I'm still stuck.
We'll get to it. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards admitted she got another nose job, and Shannon Bedore from The Real Housewives of Orange County said her puffy appearance on the reunion show earlier this year was due to natural fillers in her face and cheeks. Okay, so let's get back to the. Because we're not allowed to say certain things on this show for some reason.
Her flower.
It's biology.
Her flower.
Delicate flower.
Why would she get her? She said 2 million people are watching. They're not watching her flower. Why would she get that done?
After maybe kids.
But she said for the reunion.
Right, because they were already.
That's like slipping in like our COVID bill and redoing our bridges. You know what I mean? That's what's going on.
Well, no.
It's the same like government bill. Look how I brought politics into this.
If you're already under, she's saying if I'm already under, if I'm going to nip tuck this, and this, I'll nip tuck that.
Right. So, and that's what Kyle Richards said on the Real Housewives of Beverly. You're welcome, sir. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night, because she was saying that on set something hit her squarely in the nose, and they had to go and do some things anyway. So she decided, since they were already going to operate, she might as well get something done. So it's like, well, I'm already doing this, so I might as well do the whole kit and caboodle. Okay. I don't have a problem with this, but I'm so sorry she was under the knife for 9 hours, because I do not see the difference. Dolores cannot possibly get any more beautiful. That woman is gorgeous. And I don't see, I couldn't tell the difference.
Tori, okay, so here's my fear though. And listen, it's her body. She looks gorgeous. Good for her. Do you? However, some psychologists have spoken up that there can be a culture of friends that produce almost like this keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And if you get inserted to that, so if there's this culture on set, or there's this culture within the whole Housewives franchise, it's almost like you start to believe that you need to also get your lips done, or to also get your yes, that too. So I don't know, Tori. I feel like it's becoming like this epidemic within them.
And that's a fair point, right? I think once you see a wrinkle and no one around you in your community has a wrinkle, it looks like a much bigger wrinkle. But I also think these people are probably prone to plastic surgery. I don't think this is new for them. I think she may have gotten a new flower, even if she wasn't on a reunion. So I think that's sort of the group of people we're talking about here. But I really appreciate the word flower. Great job on that, guys.
I think we hit our max.
I think we. I will say, I love that she owns it. You know, if you're gonna say this is what you know, this is what you look this way because you did X, Y, and Z, I think that sets an expectation.
Exactly, as opposed to saying it was the T on Instagram.
Thank you. Okay. New single, Jana has a new look. Jana Kramer, who recently filed for divorce from her husband, Mike Cosson, so revealed in her quote, divorce body on Instagram, she said she got breast implants 2 weeks before the news of the split broke. According to some psychologists, after a breakup, people feel a need to transform themselves to feel more attractive, like A-Rod, by the way, who posted this photo before and after, shortly after splitting from J-Lo. So, or to assert their identities. You guys all remember Katy Perry, right? Cutting her hair after her breaking up with Orlando Bloom back in 2017. Okay. Yeah. What do you guys think about this science? Have you ever wanted to go to the gym after you broke up with somebody?
I think everybody does. I get the re-imaging stuff, but let's not forget spite. Right? Spite's a big motivating factor. You broke up with me, guess what? I'm going to go to the gym and show you what you're missing out on. That's what we're talking about. We put all these quotes around these different things. It's spite. Let's embrace it.
You don't buy it?
Well, I don't think everyone thinks like that because once I'm done.
No, everybody does.
No, once we're over, we are just over. Like there are no like repeats. There's no return. I'm not thinking about it. I'm moving on with my life. I actually cut off all my hair right before my wedding to Anthony. And I think that it was a part of, like, I really needed to figure out, like, who I was stepping into this new part of my life. So my hair actually symbolizes how far in my comeback journey. So, yeah, here we are.
See, I think there's actually, Tori, a caveat in between Jeff's analogy and what Erica said. I think if you're the one that broke up with a person and you've been able to move on, you're not going to feel like you need to have some sort of revenge body. There's not going to be spite there. If you're the one that's been broken up with, oh yeah, you want to get back at that person and you're going to show them everything that they're missing. That's my opinion. I
think you are spot on, Samantha. And also, I want to say this.
First of all, I said it
cut off all my hair to look like Gwyneth Paltrow, to look terrible. I look terrible. So if you're hungry or angry or sad, don't make rash decisions about your hair.
Wait a minute.
I did,
Hold
and
on.
it took a while.
Hold the phone. You cut your hair to look like Gwyneth Paltrow?
In what? What movie?
In Sliding Doors. No, remember when she gets that cut? That's
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Stop right here because we have a major unveiling. She is always so hard on Gwyneth Paltrow, and it turns out that the reason why is because you tried to emulate her hairstyle, and it looked terrible on you.
Dr.
That's not the reason, Gwynny. You take that. That's your L. You take that loss, Tor.
We have a retired Gwyneth Paltrow stan, right? She obviously stanned her. Stan means you're obsessed with someone. She stanned her. But you cut her your hair like her.
I just liked her hair.
And you didn't like it, and Erica psychologically broke you down.
Coming up on DBL, and it's a week of your favorite 90s sitcom stars, and we're talking live. There she is. Oh yeah, we're talking live with Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by We've All Got Something.
This is the meme getting posted all over Facebook. It lists the average consumer prices for things like gas, lumber, and home sales in 2020, and then in 2021, where it claims prices went up significantly higher. Let's verify. Are these numbers accurate?
The numbers are roughly accurate. In terms of the commodities listed there.
Our sources are Pete Earle, an economist from the American Institute for Economic Research, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A quick look at the government's Consumer Price Index showed the numbers line up with this meme, but they need context, and these two presidents aren't it.
The first driver of these higher prices is sort of a lack of understanding that an economy is not a lawnmower or a light switch. You can't turn it off and then turn it back on at will.
Since March of 2020, both presidents have been in charge while economic lockdowns have been in place. Earle says the firms that made these goods shut down or ran at limited capacities.
So you have tons of demand, meeting limited supply, which is why we have prices rising.
And that's just one part. Earl says another cause of high prices is inflation, which he believes both administrations had a hand in creating.
What inflation really means is although prices are going up, it means the value of your dollar, which is to say purchasing power, is being eroded.
So yes, the prices on this meme are correct, but the context that one administration is to blame just doesn't add up. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
For all of us to come together, the entire group, the way that we did was really special, and it affected me very, very deeply. I think I was surprised by how emotional all of it was.
Hillary, your cousin Will is here.
Hi. Dad, I need $300.
That's a lot of money, Hillary. What for?
I need a new hat.
For what?
Probably her head.
Her comedic timing was always on point. Welcome back to DBL. That was actress Karen Parsons from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the hit 90s sitcom defined 90s style. And who can forget our favorite fashionista, Hillary Banks? Yes, there she is joining us live. Karen, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you.
I mean, just watching that again, that show just continues to make me laugh. It lives on. It's almost impossible to not sing along to the Fresh Prince theme song as well when the show starts. So what's it like for you watching the show now? And are your kids fans?
I don't watch the show. My kids, they both went through a little Fresh Prince intro around probably when they were each around 9. I mean, when my daughter was a toddler, I remember seeing it on the television, and she was walking by, and I just kept it there for a while because I was in the scene and I wanted to see what happened. And she stopped and she looked back at me and she did the whole like, "That's you." And then she quickly went on to whatever she was doing because she was, she could care less. But I think it's probably a little weird for them. I think it's probably strange for them. They went through a little phase where they watched it and they really liked it. They got over the fact that I was on it really fast, which was great. And now I think they could guess. I think they kind of like, it's weird, and yeah, they could care less.
Yeah, my kids don't even watch this show, so I'm with you there.
Right.
They're not impressed at all.
Yeah, my kids haven't seen all the episodes.
Karen,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, you were breaking up a little there. For Fresh Prince fans, you and Will Smith actually go way back. You were friends before he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What was Will like back then?
Actually, that's not me. I'm thinking about Alfonso. Alfonso and Will knew each other before.
That's what it says here.
They got that wrong. Sorry, somebody. But Alfonso and Will knew each other.
All right, well, that was a terrible question. We'll move on to the next one.
What do you think about Will currently trying to lose his pandemic bod?
Wow, was that a trip? I laughed so hard. I couldn't believe that he would go for that and do it. I think it was great. I think it was awesome because everybody
relates.
Everybody, right? To this. What did he say? He was hidden in the pantry, late at night. They think the pantry cookies, late night pantry cookies, I think we all know what that's like during the pandemic. So I think that's really cool. I think it's great. And we know how he is. We know he's going to do it and he's going to look like amazing in 5 seconds,
Of course. Well, Karen, the last time that I spoke with you, I got the chance to tell you that you were one of my first inspirations for natural hair and having that representation. So I'm wondering, because Hillary was the first Black American princess, really, on television. So what other Black women have to say about how you played the role, and how much were you, like, able to keep shaping that character?
Well, definitely all had a lot of input, which was fantastic. The producers from the beginning would want to talk to us about how did that feel after we would read through something or after we would stage it. But they were the ones that came up with the character, and then I participated in that, to some degree, obviously, but they came up with these great lines, and I loved her being in this kind of, in her bubble lived in. I never wanted her to, I didn't want to do a thing where she was all of a sudden, she came out of it and she was a strong Black woman. Because I thought it was so much we could say showing her the way that she was. I thought it was far more interesting. So I'm glad we did it that way. But it was interesting how it was received and how it's received now. I think that people respond to the character, but I think a lot of people were also at the same time a little more put off at the time when it came out, like, who does she think she is, kind of thing. Where now I think people are much quicker to just like laugh it off, recognize themselves in her. It's just the times, and things change a little bit, and it's fun. It's interesting to see the different generations and the reactions to it. And of course, the bottom line is that people are enjoying it, generation after generation. And that's just pretty incredible.
It is. My nieces and nephews are just now getting into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I'm like, hey, that was my favorite show like 30 years ago. But so since playing Hillary, quickly, you began writing. And your stories are special because they help kids learn about race. What are you up to now? And how can we find out more about your incredibly inclusive children's books?
Oh, well, thank you. I started an organization called Sweet Blackberry back in 2005. And the mission of Sweet Blackberry is to bring little-known stories of African-American achievement to children. And I do this through short animated films and through books, picture books, because there's just a handful of stories that kids are being taught in the schools, and there's so many incredible stories out there that have been left out of the textbooks and that are risk being forgotten altogether. And I think there's so much that all children can learn from them. And of course, these are inspiring people, but they're also very empowering stories. And I think it's important, and it's for kids coming up at a young age to be introduced to these people. And as they come into the world, I think it just changes their whole outlook on the landscape of race and their value if they come up knowing about all of these incredible accomplishments and contributions of these people that, school they might not hear about.
Right. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. DBL Nation, for more information about Karen's children's books, visit sweetblackberry.org. We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Great. Thank you. Thanks.
We all know that
You can thank the COVID pandemic for a whole lot of unused airline miles, but experts warn you may want to use them sooner than later. Let's connect the dots. Value Penguin crunched the numbers and found a massive amount of airline reward miles went unused in 2020. That's not a big surprise. With restrictions in place and COVID concerns, not a lot of people were traveling last year. It found that the 5 major airline loyalty programs ended the year with a combined $27.5 billion in unused miles. So here's the problem. The airlines had a really rough 2020. Forbes estimates the 6 largest airlines lost $35 billion. All those outstanding miles are considered liabilities, which means they count as a loss when you're balancing the books. Now that people are starting to travel again, many will be using those stockpiled miles that do little to help the struggling airlines. Travel experts predict the airlines will start changing rules to help their bottom line. That could mean reducing the value of rewards or reinstating expiration dates on the miles already earned. That means the experts recommend using those rewards as soon as possible or run the risk of getting grounded.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, Steph showed Tori some amazing products at even better prices. Here's DBL Deal Blast, presented by MorningSave.com. What do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey, Tori, I'm here with some great products and deals just for you guys. So first up, I've got something that will give you healthier skin no matter your age or skin type. It's the LaFleur Probiotic Skincare 3-Step Kit. So the probiotic cleanser will soften and brighten all skin types by washing away pollutants on the skin and resetting it overnight. The probiotic serum concentrate will smooth out fine lines and wrinkles and boost the skin's natural defense system. And lastly, the probiotic daily defense moisturizer primes skin for a flawless makeup application while protecting the skin from the effects of environmental exposure.
Wow.
Normally, this is as much as $248.
I can see that.
Yeah, but we've got it for only $49, saving up to 80%.
Get your face glow on, everybody,
honestly,
with a good price.
Next up, I've got the perfect item to help you relax in the comfort of your own home. It's the Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser and 10-piece essential oil set. So this deal includes one diffuser and the 10 different oils you see here. They're state-of-the-art wave diffusion technology to atomize essential oils for ultimate wellness with this.
Nice.
And it also features 7 ambient light modes, 4 timer settings, and an auto shut-off feature for low water levels. The included oils are lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, orange, peppermint, lemongrass, jasmine, my favorite, nutmeg, clove, and spearmint. So normally it's as much as $150.
I was gonna say.
Oils are very expensive.
Yeah.
We've got it for only $39. That's saving up to 74%.
And you guys are all spending so much more time at home. Have a place next to your Zoom where this can be glowing and moving you to a much more calm state. This can really save your day.
Exactly.
Really, really.
I love this, and it's a great price with all the oils included.
For 10 of those?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very, very good price.
Love it. Yes.
Now, Tori, I've got something that would do great things within your home, or for anyone else's for that matter. It is the 8-pack Square and Ground Solar Pathway Lights with bright LEDs. So you can use these to brighten up your garden or add light to an existing pathway to your front door. And the bright LEDs are sustainable and solar powered, providing up to 8 hours of illumination. They're wireless, easy to install, and the best part is they are sturdy for all year round weather. Look. So you can see, like, obviously when it gets dark.
I'm obsessed with these.
Isn't that cool?
I love the look.
So normally these are as much as $60, and now we've got them for only $29, saving up to 52%.
That is way better. I use these in my gardens, and it just looks so nice in the summer when you're grilling and you see the walkway. I'm just telling you guys, this will it's an upgrade for your backyard, and you don't have to spend a ton.
And it's so simple. You don't need anyone to come and install anything.
And it's solar. I mean, it couldn't be easier. This is
really great.
Very smart.
Definitely. And lastly, keeping our hair looking flawless can be very expensive.
Yes.
Well, not anymore. Not with the Main Choice Heavenly Halo 5-piece hair care bundle. So you can wash and condition your way to healthy, beautiful locks with this kit. So it's a 5-piece set, comes with everything your hair needs, like masks and softening milk.
Oh, wow.
And all 5 containers are packed with vitamins, botanicals, and essential nutrients for healthier hair and manageability. Very important.
Yes.
Normally, this is as much as $83.
Okay.
But right now, the whole set is only $34, saving up to 58%.
Oh, I love a good deal on a good headset. I just think it's so pricey to get your hair to look good these days, and I'm not going to the salon as much because of COVID. This is excellent. Lock into those lock savings. I know that doesn't make sense, but I liked it. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone, guys, anywhere you are. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Here's the understatement of the century. The internet is full of misinformation. And that's why the Verify team is here, to go to the vetted experts to find out what's real and what's not. And all over social media, you'll see posts about something called pathogenic priming, described as a process where vaccines facilitate greater infection rather than block the virus. So to get to the bottom of all this, we turn to our experts, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University and Dr. Sarah Fortune from the Harvard School of Public Health. First, here's the main question.
Is pathogenic priming a real scientific concept?
Well, in science, we don't call it pathogenic priming, but there is a kernel of truth to this concept.
Schaffner says that the official name is antibody-mediated enhanced disease. So what is this illness?
Under certain very rare circumstances, a body can produce antibody that when it later encounters the real germ, actually causes enhanced disease.
The classic example of that was a vaccine developed against respiratory syncytial virus in the 1960s, when children who got it got sick after they got exposed to RSV.
But with RSV, this was all caught in early trials, and our experts emphasize that these days a vaccine just wouldn't be approved if pathogenic priming existed.
We're looking for this right out of the gate.
This has been looked for in the laboratory, in animal models, in the early trials.
It went through all of that development, but now we know from people they're exceptionally safe.
Not a single case has occurred. We've vaccinated 150 million people in the United States. Hasn't happened. You can rest easy.
So we can verify that these posts on social media are false. Our experts say that there's no risk of pathogenic priming. The COVID vaccines are safe and effective. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
We all are human beings. And as such, we all want basically the same 5 things in our lives that anybody else wants. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. We want to be treated fairly. And we want the same things for our family as anybody else wants for their family.
DBL. Tori, you got a comment about your sultry look?
No one wrote in. No one. Secondly, Tina wrote in, when my husband of 30 years left me for his 22-year-old secretary, I got my revenge body. And last I heard, the girl left him and he got fat.
Good. Ooh. Good. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.